Chapter 178. 3 days came and 4 days passed. Today was the 7th day. On the 7th day, Jusan Pass was bustling with activity. The golden shuttles returned one after another. The cultivators guarding the pass were busy recording the battle merits of the cultivators of the War Division. Inside the pass, many of the cultivators of the War Division who returned were exchanging their battle merits for immortal jade, pills, and magical treasures to improve their strength. On the city gate tower, a lady in plain clothes looked at the sky with slight worry. The wind carried the smell of blood that could not be erased. That person's golden shuttles had yet to return. Don't worry, Suqiu Xianzi. With Ning, fellow Taoist Zhou Ming's means, he will definitely be fine. Jing Zhuo comforted her. I know he's strong. However, he's just. I heard that among the golden shuttles that returned to Jusan Pass, 7 of them won the battle. 3 of them did not complete the mission of destroying the demon city. Not only that, 3 nascent soul realm cultivators even lost their physical bodies due to severe injuries. Only their nascent soul realm cultivators managed to escape. Will he be safe? The lady in plain clothes bit her lips and sighed. Why does he like to show off so much? Why, he asked me to defend the city but he chose to go to a dangerous place instead. The worry in her eyes could not be dispelled no matter how Jing Zhuo comforted her. She heaved a sigh of relief only when a row of golden shuttles returned from the sky. At the bow of the shuttle, a young man in white robes and black cloak stood with his hands clasped behind his back. Even though his face was pale, he wore his usual smile. He's back. With his personality, he must have obtained countless battle merits just like what he did in the Sinister Sparrow sect in the past. Suqiu's eyes flashed. She descended the city gate tower and walked towards the pass. She wanted to welcome Ning Fan's triumphant return. He won the battle. His battle merits were enough to leave. After destroying the demon city, revered Snow would probably lead the group of nascent soul realm cultivators into the Dragon Dream Swamp for the final battle. However, Ning Fan did not plan to participate in that battle. There were a few reasons. Firstly, he already had enough battle merits. There was no need for him to take unnecessary risks. Furthermore, the date of the final battle was set to be a month later, and the opening of the primordial teleportation formation this year was also a month and a few days later. If he were to participate in the battle, he would not be able to make it in time for the primordial teleportation formation. Secondly, there was a spirit-severing realm demon general in the Dragon Dream Swamp. He captured 2 of his female companions and killed one of his male companions. Capturing the female demon was fine, but killing the male demon. After killing the lion-haired male demon, Ning Fan discovered that the blood qi of the lion-haired male demon was still lingering on his body for several days. If this qi became the reason why the spirit-severing realm demon general wanted to deal with him, it would be bad. There was absolutely no need for him to purposely come to the Dragon Dream Swamp to be slaughtered by the demon general. The third reason was that there were some things in the lion-haired demon's storage pouch that caught his attention. The last reason was that Ning Fan himself needed time to recuperate from his injuries and his demon blood. On the way back, Ning Fan sent his spirit sense into the cauldron ring several times to check the storage pouch. The result shocked him. There was a piece of immemorial star iron the size of a cherry in the storage pouch of the lion-haired demon. A piece of iron the size of a cherry might not seem like much, but one should know that even the yin-yang locket only had this much. After all, the yin-yang locket itself was not that big. As for the Separation Slayer sword, there were only traces of fragments of the immemorial stars in it. If it was mixed with this whole piece of star iron, not only would its quality be improved, but in terms of toughness alone, the Separation Slayer sword might not even break when facing a void fragmentation realm technique. Elementary high-grade flying sword, the Separation Slayer sword. This sword's body was extremely thin. Ning Fan might not even be able to finish using this piece of star iron. If there was any left over, Ning Fan could forge a second immemorial divine weapon. However, this star iron was not small, but it was heavily corroded by the demonic qi. Ning Fan did not know that this piece of iron was given to the lion-haired demon by the demon general. The lion-haired demon was ordered to contaminate this item with demonic qi. After the demon general transformed into a dragon, he would use this iron to forge an immemorial divine weapon. Immemorial divine weapons could be used by gods and devils. If it was a demon with immemorial demon vein, it could also be used. Unfortunately, if the demon general knew that this iron had fallen into Ning Fan's hands, he would be furious. This piece of iron had been corroded by demonic qi. It would take a lot of effort to erase it, and the sooner the better. Therefore, before erasing the demonic qi of the star iron, he did not have the leisure to care about the battle with Longmengzi. As for his own body, 3 layers of demon blood were gathered and boiling within his body. After transforming into a giant, he killed 3 nascent soul realm demons in a row and ate their corpses. The process was indeed disgusting, but devouring flesh and blood was one of the techniques recorded in the Camellia scripture to increase demonic power. There were 2 ways to cultivate in the demon race. One was to cultivate the cultivation method to absorb the spiritual qi of heaven and earth and the essence of the sun and moon to transform it into demonic power. The other was to devour flesh and blood of living beings to increase the demonic power of the demon blood. That was why when Ning Fan transformed into a giant, he not only killed the lion-haired demon but also devoured the flesh and blood of the 3 demons. The flesh and blood of the 3 demons were refined by Ning Fan's demonic technique and turned into 3 drops of blood essence. The pale green blood was left by the white snake, the pale yellow blood was left by the yellow sable, and the pale golden blood was left by the mid-nascent soul realm lion-haired demon. The pale green blood and the yellow blood contained a thin amount of demon blood. After all, they were nascent soul realm demons that were awakened using a secret technique. Even so, the demonic power contained in a drop of blood was hundreds of times more than Ning Fan's blood. The demonic power contained in the golden blood was 10 times more than the total amount of the 2 demons' blood essence. At this moment, the feather demon blood in Ning Fan's body was slowly absorbing the power of the 3 drops of blood essence. His demonic power was slowly increasing, and what surprised him was that the quality of his feather demon veins was also slowly increasing. A thin bloodline gradually increasing in quality. This kind of thing was considered unimaginable even in the ancient demon race. However, this was really happening in Ning Fan's body. As for the reason, it was naturally because of the wonders of the yin-yang locket. It could allow Ning Fan to open the divine, demon and devil veins in his human body and increase the quality of his bloodline. What was so strange about it? The yin-yang locket could absorb everything for its own use. The demon blood of others could also increase one's strength. Putting aside his magical power, Ning Fan's demonic power was only at the early harmonious spirit realm. However, if he refined the 3 drops of blood essence, his demonic power could reach the late harmonious spirit realm or even the peak. In the storage pouch, other than the immemorial star iron, there were some spiritual herbs and magical treasures that belonged to the lion-haired demon. The magical treasures were unsightly. All of them were stolen from human cultivators. However, those spiritual herbs were of good quality, and he also seized some spirit-refining grass. Apart from that, there was also a jade bottle that was carefully sealed in the storage pouch. The jade bottle revealed a trace of demonic power. Just a sniff of it made Ning Fan's demonic blood boil. The qi was very similar to the 3 drops of blood essence in Ning Fan's body, but the density of the magical power was like heaven and earth. Could it be that there is a drop of great demon's blood essence sealed in it? Ning Fan had a premonition that if he could consume this drop of blood essence, his demonic power would definitely reach the gold core realm or even higher. However, he dared not to consume it recklessly. There was a limit to the increase of demonic power using the blood-devouring technique. He mustn't consume the blood of living beings that were too strong. He needed to be careful when refining the blood essence of a nascent soul realm demon with his meager demonic blood. However, the blood sealed in this jade bottle was a little terrifying. Ning Fan couldn't tell the specific grade, but he was afraid that if he consumed it, there was a high chance that his body would explode and he would die. I'll consume this in the future, that was his decision. As for his decision to not participate in the battle at Longmengza Lake, it was even deeper. The Gene shuttle landed in the center of the mountain. Immediately, there were cultivators who came forward to greet them. Ning Fan merely nodded as a greeting. He followed Jia Xiu and Yun Ruowei straight to the place where the battle merits were registered. There was a huge jade tablet that was glowing with light. Below it, many cultivators who had just returned from killing the demons were handing over their battle merits to the jade tablet and recording their battle merits on it. An old cultivator was respectfully looking after the jade tablet, exchanging immortal jade, pills, cultivation methods and magical treasures for the cultivators who needed to exchange their battle merits. He didn't go forward to register his battle merits immediately because he saw a figure waiting for him in the crowd. Zhou Ming. Oh. It's Suqiu. Are you waiting for me here? Yes. The two of them were acting as Dao companions now. It was fine for them to address each other intimately. However, Suqiu's gaze shifted away from Ning Fan and fell on Yun Ruowei. Her heart immediately tightened, but her gaze moved away without leaving a trace. As for Yun Ruowei, she also noticed Suqiu. She thought to herself that this woman was most likely Ning Fan's Dao companion. Her aptitude was exceptional and her appearance was not inferior to mine. It was truly rare for a female cultivator to have such an outstanding aptitude. If it wasn't for the fortuitous encounters she had, she would most likely only have this much cultivation realm after all these years. She knew Jia Xiu and also knew that Yun Ruowei was a nascent soul realm cultivator of the Rain Palace. Suqiu greets the two seniors. Suqiu's gaze lingered on Yun Ruowei for a longer time. There was a trace of nervousness that even she herself didn't notice. This is... Yun Ruowei was secretly surprised. Although the woman in front of her was only at the peak of the gold core realm, her profound technique and solid foundation made it obvious that her Dao heart was firm. It wasn't easy for a woman to have such a temperament. This is fellow Daoist Zhou's Dao companion. The two of them must have something to talk about. We'll take our leave first. Jia Xiu introduced. So she's fellow Daoist Zhou's Dao companion. Yun Ruowei's heart was filled with an indescribable feeling of discomfort. It's all because of the heart devil. I don't like Ning Fan, but because of the heart devil, my heart devil actually trembled when I heard about Ning Fan's Dao companion. Since she's fellow Daoist Zhou's Dao companion, there's no need to call me senior. You can just call me sister, then, Suqiu shall be bold and call you sister. Sister Suqiu's profound technique has a deep foundation. No matter how deep her foundation is, she's only at the gold core realm. How can she be as powerful as sister's nascent soul realm? Ning Fan, who was at the side, revealed a strange expression. He didn't know why the conversation between the two women gave him a feeling that they were opposing each other. However, when he thought about it, Suqiu was merely pretending to be his Dao companion while Yun Ruowei only had complaints about him. The possibility of them opposing each other for his sake should be very small. While the two women were chatting, the registration of battle merits was in full swing under the jade steel. The battle merits recording officer was an old cultivator. Every time someone recorded their battle merits, he would read out the battle merits. Wang Wei, late gold core realm, obtained a total of 7,152 battle merits. Yu Ming, peak gold core realm, obtained a total of 8,503 battle merits. Lu Feng, late gold core realm, obtained a total of 5,589 battle merits. Hu Yen. When the name Hu Yen was mentioned, the old man's expression immediately turned solemn and he let out a dry cough. This was because Hu Yen was the sixth commander of the Gene Guards, an existence of mid-nascent soul realm. Sixth commander of the Gene Guards, Senior Hu Yen, obtained a total of 96,492 battle merits. As soon as the old man said that, countless cultivators in Guangzhou inhaled a breath of cold air. As expected of a mid-nascent soul realm expert, he was able to obtain so many battle merits in just one battle. It was equivalent to 100,000 immortal jade. Amidst the uproar, there was a discordant sneer. A mid-nascent soul realm expert of Jin is satisfied with 100,000 battle merits. Please record this Yun's battle achievements. Yes, yes. A young man in a silver robe sneered. His eyes were filled with madness. It was Yun Kuang. It looked like the craziness that was crushed had been reformed in this battle. Hu Yan's eyes darkened when he was mocked by Yun Kuang. Everyone knew that the cultivators of the Rain Palace and the Jin Guards were not on good terms. However, it was rare for someone to mock them like Yun Kuang. However, compared to Jin, the Rain Palace was a colossus. Yun Kuang was not someone Hu Yan could afford to offend. Hu Yan's heart trembled when he heard Yun Kuang's battle merits. The old man's words were like a sharp sword that pierced Hu Yan's heart. Rain Palace's divine envoy Yun Kuang obtained a total of 235,891 battle merits. Of which, 100,000 was obtained from killing a nascent soul realm demon. Hiss. As soon as the announcement was made, the entire place became silent. Only the sound of inhaling could be heard. 230,000 battle merits. Even the great commander of the Jin Guards would not be able to obtain so many battle merits. Moreover, 100,000 battle merits were obtained from killing nascent soul realm demons. Every nascent soul realm demon possessed remarkable abilities. Moreover, they had formed a nascent soul within their body and were extremely difficult to kill. Hu Yan had defeated 2 nascent soul realm demons by himself, but he could not kill one of them. Unexpectedly, Yun Kuang killed a nascent soul realm demon. It seemed like even if he lost the shadow-bearing sword and could no longer carry out sneak attacks, his strength should not be underestimated. Among the crowd, a black-faced burly man had a gloomy expression. He was the great commander of the Jin Guards, Wan Ji. When he saw Hu Yan being humiliated, he initially wanted to stand up for him. After all, Hu Yan represented the Jin Guards. However, after hearing about Yun Kuang's battle merits, he became silent. The battle merits he obtained in this battle was only 190,000 battle merits. It was incomparable to Yun Kuang's. His silence made some people sigh inwardly. Yun Kuang, on the other hand, glanced at Wan Ji and became even more complacent. He. Commander Wan Ji is not speaking. It seems like your battle merits are not as good as mine. Record the merits. Just erase this Yun's battle merits, and only record 230,000 will do. He sneered. Suddenly, his eyes turned and pierced through the crowd, landing on a person. Zhou Ming. Your battle merits might be more than mine. If not, then get lost from Suqiu Xianzi's side. Yun Kuang's voice gathered everyone's attention on Ning Fan. Originally, Ning Fan was helplessly listening to the two ladies chatting. However, when Yun Kuang's voice resounded, his eyes turned cold and he walked out of the crowd. Everyone thought that Yun Kuang's provocation would lead to a battle, but in the end, Ning Fan just smiled and casually glanced at Yun Kuang. Then, he handed the black jade to the record officer. Divine Messenger Yun Kuang, you have too many battle merits. You don't want a fraction. I can't compete with you. I, Zhou, am too poor. Every bit of money must be properly recorded on the jade tablet. Every fraction is equivalent to an immortal jade. Yes, yes. The fear that the record officer had towards Ning Fan was even greater than Yun Kuang. When his eyes fell on Ning Fan's jade, his hands trembled. He could not hold the jade properly and it fell on the table. Loss of self-control, too much loss of self-control. This lowly one deserves to die. This lowly one deserves to die. He hurriedly picked up the jade and apologized to Ning Fan. However, Ning Fan waved his hand and said indifferently. It's all right. It's just a small matter. Record it down. Yes, yes. The 7th commander of the Jin Imperial Guard, Zhou Ming, obtained a total of 648,153 battle merits in this battle. What? There's more than 640,000 battle merits. Many cultivators exclaimed. How was it possible to obtain such a huge amount of battle merits in just one battle? Not only that. 300,000 of the battle merits were obtained from killing 3 nascent soul realm experts. The record officer's voice trembled as he added. 3 nascent soul realm experts. The expressions of the cultivators in Guangzhong changed drastically. It was difficult to defeat a nascent soul realm expert, let alone kill one. However, Ning Fan actually killed 3 nascent soul realm experts in just one battle. This. Not only that. One of them was a mid-nascent soul realm old demon. What? Mid-nascent soul realm? Doesn't this mean that old ancestor Zhou Ming has the ability to kill cultivators of the same realm? Killing cultivators of the same realm. It was impossible for a nascent soul realm expert to do so. It was possible to defeat them, but even if their physical bodies were destroyed, the enemy's nascent soul realm could still escape. The speed of a nascent soul realm expert's escape was a small realm higher than their cultivation realm. It was impossible for cultivators of the same realm to kill the enemy's nascent soul realm. However, Zhou Ming could. After the battle merits were recorded, Ning Fan kept the jade in his eyes fell on Yun Kuang with a smile. Yun Kuang, are you satisfied with my battle merits? Are you satisfied? These 4 words were like a sudden clap of thunder that exploded in Yun Kuang's heart when Ning Fan secretly circulated the power of the lightning star. Yun Kuang's face turned pale and he took a few steps back. The madness in his Dao heart was crushed by Ning Fan when he seized the sword. It wasn't easy for him to rebuild a trace of madness in this battle by killing nascent soul realm experts. The reason why he humiliated Hu Yen was because he wanted to use this method to stabilize his madness intent. If he could defeat Ning Fan with his battle merits, he could even use this opportunity to erase the mark of failure that Ning Fan had planted in his Dao heart. However, he never thought that Ning Fan's battle merits would be far beyond his expectation. 640,000. He couldn't do it. There were even 3 nascent soul realm old demons among them. Among them, one of them was a mid-nascent soul realm demon companion. No. Impossible. The madness in his Dao heart that had just been rebuilt and had yet to be stabilized crumbled at this moment. He only had 230,000 battle merits. Showing it off in front of Ning Fan was simply asking to be humiliated. When Ning Fan's gaze swept across him, Yun Kuang's expression changed drastically and he quickly retreated. Ning Fan merely lifted a finger and pointed it at him. However, Yun Kuang had a feeling that if this finger were to press down on him, he would only be severely injured even if he used all of his techniques. Are you satisfied? Those 4 words were like a bolt of lightning that wreaked havoc in Yun Kuang's body. In the end, Yun Kuang took a few steps back and stabilized his body. However, he coughed out a mouthful of blood. This was the first time he realized that he must never provoke Ning Fan. No. Absolutely not. This man has the strength to kill a mid-nascent soul realm expert. That finger of his is enough to kill me. I'm sorry for my rudeness. Farewell. Without any hesitation, he teleported away. He even forgot to keep the jade that was still in the officer's hand. His mind was in a mess. This was the 2nd time he escaped from Ning Fan. From now on, he might not have the courage to find trouble with Ning Fan for the rest of his life. You're fast, Ning Fan smiled and put down his finger. He no longer looked at Yun Kuang. This man's Dao heart had already been destroyed. Even if he could break through to late nascent soul realm or even peak nascent soul realm, he would never be able to attain spirit-severing realm. There was no doubt that Ning Fan would be the heart devil when he attained spirit-severing realm. The heart devil that Ning Fan couldn't resist would probably torment Yun Kuang for the rest of his life. This scene caused countless cultivators inside the pass to be astonished. Old ancestor Zhou Ming could not only kill a mid-nascent soul realm expert, but also scare off a mid-nascent soul realm expert with just 4 words. This man is unfathomable. Fellow Taoist Zhou, are you really not going to participate in the Battle of the Dragon Dream Swamp? Jie Xiu sighed. On the way back, Ning Fan had already told him that he would not participate in the battle. Sigh. I'm still injured. Even if I want to help, I'm afraid I'm unable to. Is that so? Then, it's really a pity, Jie Xiu sighed again and again. Ning Fan's strength was probably stronger than the commander. If he could participate in the battle, Jin's chances of winning would be much higher. Chapter 179. I actually lost. This Zhou Ming is really powerful. My intuition was right. Zhou Ming was injured and could not participate in the final battle. This matter made countless cultivators like Jie Xiu feel that it was a pity. Sigh, if old ancestor Zhou Ming wasn't injured, he would definitely shine in the final battle. Suqiu was worried about Ning Fan for a while. What kind of injury made him unable to participate in the battle? She went to the Bright Jade Tower every few days. After confirming that Ning Fan was fine, she finally felt relieved. Ning Fan recuperated in the Bright Jade Tower while she quietly guarded the city. Even though she had enough battle points, it was always good for her to earn more battle points and save some immortal jade for Ning Fan. The Bright Jade Tower was the property of the 6th Commander Hu Yan in Jushan Pass. However, it was given to Ning Fan to treat his injuries. The reason was naturally because Ning Fan had forced Yun Kuang to retreat and helped him vent his anger. It would be foolish not to accept such a gift. Ning Fan gladly accepted the Bright Jade Tower. It was the best place to treat his injuries and remove the demonic chi of the immemorial star iron. The tower had 7 floors. It was specially used for nascent soul realm old monsters to go into seclusion. Each floor had rooms for refining weapons, pills and so on. What Ning Fan was most satisfied with was the peak nascent soul realm formation outside the tower, sense isolation formation. Every nascent soul realm expert had their own secrets. This sense isolation formation was specially set up to prevent spirit sense from probing. Even an early spirit severing realm expert like Revered Snow couldn't enter the tower without alerting the formation. On the 7th floor, Ning Fan took out the star iron and soaked it in a medicinal liquid made from 1,000-years-old spiritual herb. It slowly melted the demonic chi. As for himself, he sat cross-legged on the 7th floor and started to refine the 3 drops of demon blood in his body. The loss of chi and blood could be recovered with the 3 drops of demon blood. His demon power realm would also improve significantly with the 3 drops of demon blood. My current demon power realm is early harmonious spirit, he muttered to himself and began to refine the first drop of demon blood, the yellow marten blood. Among the 3 demons, the marten demon was the weakest. However, its blood was extremely difficult to refine. Inside his dantian, Ning Fan forced out a trace of demon blood, trying to devour the faint yellow drop of blood. The lifeblood demonic blood was nothing more than a single strand of blood. It was far too weak, and he didn't dare to be careless. He could only peel the yellow demonic blood apart bit by bit, transforming it into nearly 10,000 strands of blood. Then, he activated the Camellia Sutra, allowing the lifeblood demonic blood to consume it. This scripture was a wood elemental demonic art, and the demonic blood cultivated would contain wood elemental demonic energy. On the first day, Ning Fan extracted a total of 3 bloodlines and devoured them. On the second day, there were 11. On the third day, there were 45. As it swallowed more, the natal demonic blood gradually grew to the size of a water droplet and was light green in color. 10 days later, Ning Fan had completely devoured the pale yellow demonic blood. His demonic power broke through to the mid-harmonious spirit realm. The second drop is the blood of the white serpent. I will be able to devour it in less than 3 days. On the 13th day, he refined the blood of the white snake and broke through to the late harmonious spirit realm. The demon blood that hadn't been devoured was only the faint gold drop. However, this drop was extremely difficult to devour. After all, this blood was transformed from the blood of the companion demon. It was a true mid-nascent soul realm demon. 1 drop of this blood was equivalent to 20 drops of the white serpent's blood essence. This refinement lasted for a total of 10 days. When the 3rd drop of demon blood was completely refined, Ning Fan's demonic power successfully broke through the peak harmonious spirit realm and reached the half-step gold core realm. Demonic power seeped into the illusory gold core, making the gold core slightly more solid. With the fusion of magic power and demonic power, his magic power was comparable to a peak early gold core realm cultivator. In terms of magic power and mid-gold core realm, he wasn't any weaker. Not bad. Demon blood, demonic chi flashed in his eyes and returned to his usual expression. His eyes fell on the immemorial star iron. Seeing that the demonic chi of the iron had dissipated, he revealed a satisfied expression and kept the iron. He stood up and went down the bright jade tower. It was drizzling outside the tower. In the rain, there was a barefoot woman holding a paper umbrella. She had been waiting for a long time. This was out of Ning Fan's expectation. "Miss Yun, are you waiting here for me? N. Is it convenient for you to come in and talk?" Yun Ruowei's eyes fell on Ning Fan. When she sensed the lingering demonic chi of the latter, she was secretly surprised. Why does this person cultivate demonic power? Isn't he the descendant of the Black Devil and has the immemorial devil vein? She couldn't figure it out. However, there were many things that Ning Fan couldn't figure out. For example, why did he have the divine star of lightning in the immemorial devil vein? When Ning Fan's eyes flashed with demonic chi, his temperament gave her an extremely familiar feeling. What's wrong? Is there something dirty on my face? It's nothing. It's just that you look a little like 2 of my old friends. Yun Ruowei crossed the curtain of rain and entered the bright jade tower. Her heart trembled slightly. Is that so? There are hundreds of millions of cultivators in the world. It's normal for them to look similar. On the first floor, Ning Fan waved his sleeve and tea flew out from the teapot and fell into a cup. With a surge of his magic power, the tea became slightly warm and carried a hint of fragrance. Please have a seat. This tea is to express my apology. Thank you for your magnanimity. Magnanimity? I do want to forgive you, but what you did was too shameless. It gave birth to an inner demon in me. Do you know how troublesome this inner demon is? The 2 of them sat down. Yun Ruowei held the teacup and shook the silver bell on her wrist. This tea was very fragrant. It wasn't brewed with ordinary spiritual tea but a 1,000-year-old medicinal leaf. Ning Fan was usually very extravagant. She breathed out a trace of fragrance and blew the tea in the cup. Just as she was about to drink it, she suddenly thought of something and stopped. She glared at Ning Fan. You didn't put aphrodisiac in this tea, did you? Am I that shameless in your eyes? Speaking of which, if I want to do anything to you, I'm afraid you won't be able to walk out of the bright jade tower safely with my current strength and plucking finger. How dare you? Yun Ruowei loosened her wrist and the teacup fell to the ground, shattering into pieces. This teacup was expensive and the tea was even more precious. She felt sorry for wasting the tea but she couldn't lower herself to apologize to Ning Fan. Annoying, extremely annoying. At this moment, just by sitting opposite Ning Fan, her inner demon became even more intense. Ning Fan shook his head helplessly and pondered over the meaning of her words. He poured another cup of tea for Yun Ruowei, and at the same time, he was thinking, could it be that this woman came to find me because of her inner demon? Inner demon. Did my blasphemy leave behind an inner demon in this woman? Please drink the tea. Don't worry, there's no aphrodisiac. N. Yun Ruowei held the teacup and took a sip. The tea entered her stomach and she immediately felt refreshed. As expected of tea brewed with thousand-year-old spiritual herbs. Even nascent soul realm cultivators wouldn't be so extravagant. Miss Yun, are you here to ask me to help you eliminate your inner demon? That's right. But it's not a request, it's an order. This is the compensation for what you did to me that day, okay? Miss Yun, please don't be angry. It's my fault. Alright, how can I help you eliminate your inner demon? Accompany me to sleep. I'm no longer a primordial yang cultivator. It's fine to have sex with a beauty. But Miss Yun, do you really want to eliminate your inner demon at the cost of your purity? You don't have to do this. Ning Fan put down the teacup with a strange expression. Could it be that this Yun Ruowei is a beauty who sent herself to my doorstep? If it was in the past, it would be fine. But now, Ning Fan didn't dare to do anything inappropriate with a mid-nascent soul realm female demon. If he used the yin-yang locket, he would pluck her. If he didn't use it, it would be dual cultivation. This woman's cultivation base far surpassed Ning Fan's and she was still a virgin. Whether it was plucking or dual cultivation, it would greatly increase Ning Fan's magical power. He might not even need to go to the endless sea. Ning Fan would immediately have enough magical power to form his core in seclusion. Miss, please think twice. If you really want to have sex with me, you can find another day. Pooh. How can you be so shameless? Yun Ruowei's face turned red with anger. She was talking about sleeping. Why did it sound so evil and shameless when it came from Ning Fan's mouth? I'm talking about sleeping. Sleep together. I'll use the dream entering technique to bring you into my dream and eliminate the evil in your heart. I don't want to do that with you. So you're talking about sleeping, what else do you think? Alright. To be able to sleep with a beauty, even if there's nothing romantic going on. Miss, do you want to go upstairs and change your clothes? Let's enter your dream in this bright jade pavilion, okay? Ning Fan stood up and smiled. He patted his storage pouch and summoned the black corpse downstairs just in case. Then, he slowly went upstairs. He had no objection to helping Yun Ruowei. However, what he did to her that day was somewhat shameless. Not only did he destroy her chastity, he also left her heart's devil and hindered her cultivation. Miss Yun, what are you waiting for? Quickly go upstairs and enter your dream. I'll be leaving Great Jean in 10 days. As for you, there's still a few more days before the final battle of the Dragon Dream Swamp. There's no time to waste. Wait. Let me think about it. Yun Ruowei's heart was beating rapidly. Although they were just sleeping together without taking off their clothes or doing anything extreme, this was Yun Ruowei's first time having sex with a man. As the saying goes, 100 years of cultivation in crossing the same boat, 1,000 years of cultivation in sleeping on the same pillow. Yun Ruowei was secretly annoyed. Ever since she transformed into a plant, she had never done anything evil. Why did she have to provoke this rascal? Why do I have to sleep on the same pillow as him? I need to think about it carefully. Chapter 180. On the table, there was a purple incense burning in an incense burner. It was a kind of incense called sinuan in Jin country. The bed was covered by a veil, making it hard to see what was inside. One could vaguely see a man and a woman lying side by side on the brocade quilt. The brocade quilt was embroidered with red lawn and phoenix. On the wall, there was a painting of erotic palace. Under the veil, there was a 12 feet wide bed, emitting a faint fragrance of a woman. Yun Ruowei's heart was beating fast. Soon, Ning Fan was lying next to her shoulder. This bed was so big and there was even a painting of erotic palace on it. It was obvious that it was not used for resting but for working. She begged Ning Fan to enter her dream to slay the devil, but he actually brought her to this kind of decadent bed. Really, shameless. She couldn't calm her emotions. She gritted her teeth and said it. This bed is the original one in Mingyu Pavilion. When Commander Hu Yen gave it to me, it already had this bed. Where did the word shameless come from? I'm warning you. If you dare to do anything to me, I won't do anything to you. Alright, hurry up and enter your dream. This is my first time trying to enter a dream with a minor demonic technique. You know minor demonic techniques? Yun Ruowei's eyes were filled with surprise. She turned her body and looked at Ning Fan with a strange expression. It was rare for a human to have demon blood. He actually knew how to use demonic techniques. Does he have demon veins? Forget it. I'm just curious about it. When she turned her body, Yun Ruowei's face was almost close to Ning Fan's ear. Her soft fragrance spread to Ning Fan's ear, like a lover's teasing. She instantly realized that she had lost her composure and immediately lied down. Her heart was beating faster. Fortunately, Ning Fan was focused on the demonic finger incantation of the dream entering technique. He didn't really care about Yun Ruowei's behavior. If he really had an ulterior motive and wanted to do something to Yun Ruowei, he would have taken this opportunity to get what he wanted with just a touch of his plucking finger. Yun Ruowei secretly heaved a sigh of relief. She knew that she had misunderstood Ning Fan. It seemed that even though Ning Fan's behavior was shameless, his heart was calm and not frivolous. In just a few years, the delicate young man in the past had already become a young man with extraordinary magical power. In the past, when he faced Ning Fan, it was easy for him to deal with him. Today, however, he still had to be wary of him in every aspect. He was extremely vigilant and fearful of him. If a few more years, tens of years or even hundreds of years passed, he would probably only be able to look up to Ning Fan. However, what made her eyes light up was that Ning Fan had already started to perform the dream entering technique. 500 little Yao arts, the lowest was Ling level, the most basic of Yao arts. But the dream entering art was one of the few little Yao arts that had reached Dan level. There weren't many hand seals. There were only a dozen hand seals. Compared to the dozens of hand seals of ordinary core realm magical arts, it was much lesser. This was a little demonic art that was simplified from complexity to simplicity. There wasn't a trace of excess, but it was able to reach the core realm and was able to enter dreams. Intrusive dream, invading the dreams of others. This technique had left behind many legends in the mortal world. For example, a female demon fell in love with a scholar and slept with him in her dreams every night. Another example was King Xiang, who had a dream and met the goddess. Cultivators could not do such a thing. Only demonic arts could. Cultivators could search souls and erase memories, but demonic arts could invade other people's memories and dreams. It was Ning Fan's first time performing more than 10 hand seals. The hand seals were shaky and it was difficult for him to move his fingers. When he performed the hand seals, there was nothing blocking his fingers, but it felt as if each of his fingers was moving through the water, touching something. That thing was the power of heaven and earth. In the end, demonic arts needed to draw the power of heaven and earth. The first time he performed the hand seals was too slow and he failed. But it was enough to move Yun Ruowei. In the past, when she practiced this technique, she couldn't complete the hand seals at all when she performed it for the first time. She only managed to complete the hand seals after more than 10 attempts. But when he performed the hand seals for the second time, he was able to draw a trace of the power of heaven and earth and transform it into demonic arts. The third time he performed the hand seals, he was almost successful but it was interrupted by Qi. The reason was that he wanted to enter the dream with Yun Ruowei but he couldn't perform the hand seals alone. I have already comprehended the dream entering art. Let's enter the dream now. All right. In Yun Ruowei's heart, she had already regarded Ning Fan as a person with monstrous aptitude. When she thought of what was going to happen next, she could not help but blush. Later, both of us will perform the hand seals at the same time. When the hand seals are completed, we will immediately hold each other's hands. Remember, you must hold my hand quickly. When Yun Ruowei said those words, her hands were trembling slightly. When she thought that her hand was about to be held by Ning Fan, she felt a little confused. However, if we don't hold each other's hands, we won't be able to enter the dream together. Bear with it for the sake of eliminating the heart devil. She gritted her teeth as if she was going to die and said emotionally. All right. Let's begin. Both of them performed the hand seals at the same time. Their fingers hooked the heaven and earth. Little demonic art, dream entering art. When the hand seals were completed, a trace of mysterious demonic power enveloped their minds and slowly floated up as if it had left their bodies. At this moment, Yun Ruowei gritted her teeth and no longer hesitated. She grabbed Ning Fan's hand. On one side, it was cold and soft. On the other side, it was a slightly rough but broad palm. Yun Ruowei was bashful while lamenting that Ning Fan's hand was so rough. He must have suffered for a long time. As for Ning Fan, when he held Yun Ruowei's hand, he secretly praised in his heart. This woman's skin was very good and had a natural elasticity. However, he would not say this out loud to avoid angering Yun Ruowei again. The two of them closed their eyes at almost the same time when they held hands. Their minds, under Yun Ruowei's guidance, sank into Yun Ruowei's head. Outside the Yun Ruo temple, flowers were blooming like brocade, grass was long, and birds were flying. A barefoot woman and a young man appeared in this world hand in hand. This place was a dreamland. Ning Fan had seen this scenery before in the countries to the west of Yu country. There was a country called Ming country. That year, the old monster brought Ning Fan to this place to trample on the Lan Ruo temple to test him in this place. He profaned Yun Ruowei. At this place, the old monster made up his mind to bring him to destroy the Heaven Separation sect. The scenery here is not bad. That day, I came here at night and did not enjoy such exquisite scenery. However, it seems that this Lan Ruo temple is slightly different from what I saw that day. It seems to be lacking some demonic chi. At least you are knowledgeable. The Lan Ruo temple here is the Lan Ruo temple from 1,000 years ago. At that time, I was not Grandma Lan Ruo yet. I was just an ancient pine tree and my sister was only a small winged demon. As for that person, he should not have arrived yet. Damn it, I actually entered the wrong dream. I should be going to the Lan Ruo temple from 1,000 years later. Speaking of which, Yun Ruowei suddenly glared at Ning Fan. Speaking of which, why haven't you let go of my hand? Oh, I thought that we can't let go of each other in a dream. Ning Fan chuckled and let go of Yun Ruowei. Who are you and me? Yun Ruowei was annoyed. She entered the wrong dream and could only wait for it to end. Let's wait for the dream to end and not wander around. It's rare to see the Lan Ruo temple from 1,000 years ago. If we don't wander around, wouldn't it be a waste? That ancient pine tree has a beautiful appearance. It's extraordinary, extraordinary. Let me go and have a look. Ning Fan teleported and entered the Lan Ruo temple. There was an ancient pine tree there. There were only a few monks in the temple and they were meditating in their rooms. They did not notice how Ning Fan entered the temple. Even if they saw Ning Fan, they would think that he was just a young master who came for sightseeing. The monks in the temple did not care about it, but Yun Ruowei did. When she saw Ning Fan wandering around, she immediately became anxious. When she saw Ning Fan's hand caressing the ancient pine tree, she immediately became embarrassed and angry. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Almost at the same time, Yun Ruowei's voice and the voice of an oriole at the top of the tree entered Ning Fan's ears. But it was still too late. Ning Fan's hand still caressed the ancient pine tree and praised softly. Good, good, such a good pine tree. If it is chopped into firewood, it can be sold for a lot of money. Why can't this pine tree be touched? Ning Fan touched it. Moreover, he only praised the ancient pine tree from the perspective of chopping firewood. Yun Ruowei's expression was extremely embarrassed and angry. She angrily said, "Shameless, shameless, shameless." On the other hand, the oriole on the tree flew down to the ground and transformed into a girl in light yellow clothes. There were 3 feathers on her beautiful hair. She softly scolded Ning Fan. Although she was scolding him, her voice was soft and it made people who heard it feel comfortable. Don't touch it randomly. This pine tree is my younger sister Ruowei. She is very shy, younger sister Ruowei. Ning Fan's expression became strange and immediately withdrew his hand. Ruowei, Ruowei. This tree appeared in Yun Ruowei's dream again. It was an item from 1,000 years ago. Could it be that this tree was Yun Ruowei from 1,000 years ago? Could it be that I touched Yun Ruowei just now? Cough cough. When one is unlucky, touching a tree is considered as being frivolous and shameless. Yun Ruowei was extremely annoyed. Only when her gaze fell on the yellow-robed girl would her eyes show a trace of gentleness. As for Ning Fan, when his gaze fell on the yellow-robed girl, his heart trembled and his demon blood went out of control. This girl was a winged demon of the bird race. But why could she trigger the demon blood in my body? My name is Ning Qian. This pine tree is my younger sister Ruowei. Seniors, please be magnanimous and don't hurt my sister. My sister has a spirit formed from grass and wood. It wasn't easy for her to become a demon, don't worry. I won't hurt you. I won't show mercy to anyone who hurts you. Yun Ruowei said solemnly. If that's the case, thank you. What kind of wind is blowing today? Another senior has come to Lanruo Temple. The yellow-robed girl suddenly raised her head. Her bright eyes were filled with surprise. Above the sky, a man in white robes came riding on a sword. When he scanned the Lanruo Temple with his spirit sense, he was immediately surprised. What a good nettle pine. This tree is at least 30,000 years old. It has almost become a spirit. It has a unique use as the sword bone of my evil slaying sword. There are 2 nascent soul realm Taoists here. Could it be that they also have their eyes on this pine tree? In the sky above Ming country, the man in white robes laughed. Suddenly, it started to drizzle within 1,000 miles of the Lanruo Temple. This pine tree belongs to the god son of Rain Palace, Yun Tianjue. Fellow nascent soul realm Taoists, please move. His words were arrogant and domineering. His eyes seemed to flash with sword light. His appearance was somewhat similar to Ning Fan's. 1,000 years ago, the divine messenger of Rain Palace, Yun Tianjue, successfully comprehended the divine intent of rain at the mid-nascent soul realm. He suppressed everyone and became one of the god sons of Rain Palace. 1,000 years later, this man was at the 4th heavenly layer of the void fragmentation realm. He became an expert who was second only to the Rain Sovereign in the Rain Palace. When this man appeared, the yellow-robed girl panicked. She wanted to stop the man from cutting the pine tree. At this moment, Yun Ruowei sighed. I saw someone I don't want to see. This dream is almost over. As soon as she finished speaking, the dream shattered and reformed. It was still 1,000 miles of green fields and the Lanruo Temple. However, it was already 1,000 years later. To Yun Ruowei, the scene just now was like a dream that was insignificant. However, to Ning Fan, it made his heart tremble. He had a strange feeling that made his demon blood tremble. At this moment, the demon blood slowly calmed down. What was that? It was an encounter I had 1,000 years ago. It was also the reason why I let you go at the Lanruo Temple that day. You and Yun Tianjue are somewhat similar. At first, I thought that you are the person that Rain Palace is looking for. You should know that Rain Palace is looking for someone, right? Oh. Is this related to me? No, it has nothing to do with you. Rain Palace is using the strength of 800 cultivation countries to look for one person. The reason is because of the will of the previous Rain Sovereign. Will. Ning Fan knew that Rain Palace was looking for someone. During the 7 apricot Dao fruit auction, the Great Void sect seemed to have made a big move in Yu country because of this. It even caused the devil sects to panic. On that day, Yunlai seemed to have passed by Sinister Sparrow sect to look for someone. The Void Fragmentation Realm beggar who appeared in Sinister Sparrow sect seemed to be looking for someone as well. Before the previous Rain Sovereign passed away, he left behind a divination using the Life Soul technique. This divination has been stored in the Heavenly Fate Pond. Today, 100,000 years later, it was used by the current Rain Sovereign to divine the future of Rain World. In that divination, the Rain Sovereign saw a person. A peerless expert who would overturn the 9 worlds within 1,000 years was actually born in Rain World. He wasn't someone from the 4 heavens immortal world but a cultivator who was born and raised in Rain World. In the divination, the Rain Sovereign only saw the back of that person. Just that back was enough to shatter the Rain Sovereign's primordial spirit. A back was enough to shatter the Rain Sovereign's primordial spirit. That person is a cultivator of Rain World. 1,000 years later, he has actually become so powerful. However, he is still unknown now. In other words, this person has cultivated to a level that could make the Rain Sovereign tremble in fear in just 1,000 years. Ning Fan held his chin and muttered to himself. 1,000 years ago, he was unknown to the Rain Sovereign. If this person really exists and if the Rain Palace roped him in, he would certainly be able to make the Rain World's strength rise tremendously. Then, the Rain World might even be on par with the Devil World, Demon World and Heaven Immortal World. Presumably, the Rain Sovereign had thought of searching for that person under the heavens because he saw the back of that person. However, does this have anything to do with Yun Ruowei letting me go? When the Rain Sovereign saw that person's back, he divined that this person's magic power was boundless. Thus, he made up his mind to find that person among the 800 cultivation countries. The only proof is that there is a trace of Rain intent in that person's chi. Moreover, there is a trace of the Rain God's bloodline in the deepest part of his chi. It is highly possible that this person is the descendant of one of the divine princes. Divine princes are the successors of the Rain Palace's divine sovereign. There are more than 30 old and young divine princes in the Rain Palace. However, none of their descendants have outstanding talents. Thus, the Rain Sovereign set his sights on the illegitimate children of the divine princes. It's very normal. Every divine prince will more or less have a few concubines of devil cultivators or even demon cultivators. In the past, the descendants of these concubines were not recognized by the Rain Palace and were abandoned one after another. The people of the Rain Palace are not allowed to have the bloodline of the evil path. So, the Rain Sovereign ordered his men to look for that so-called future expert in the 800 cultivation countries. So, the Rain Palace is actually looking for the orphans and widows who were abandoned by them? Interesting. The fickleness and utilitarian nature of the Rain Palace is far beyond my expectation. When there are no benefits to be gained, they choose to walk the righteous path and abandon their orphans and widows. When there are benefits to be gained, they look for them again. In that case, just because I look a little similar to that Yun Tianjue, do you think that I am not his illegitimate child in the mortal world? That's why you let me go. Ning Fan's eyelids twitched. So, the reason why Yun Ruowei let me go that day was not because of admiration but because of such superficial reasons. I have nothing to do with that Yun Tianjue. Even though Ning Fan said that, he suddenly remembered that he had a dream with the help of the Ming Luo fruit. He dreamt that his surname was Yun. Perhaps, He was really the illegitimate child of some expert in the Rain Palace and was abandoned. However, even if it was true, Ning Fan would not turn back and ask about his ancestors since he was abandoned. He was also aware of the coldness of the Rain Palace. I know that you don't have the Rain God bloodline in your body. You shouldn't be the descendant of the Rain Palace's divine child. Later on, the 800 cultivation countries found a few hundred descendants of the divine child. These people are being nurtured by the Rain Palace. I heard that some of them have extraordinary talents and some of them even have the immemorial divine devil veins. Therefore, the search for them has gradually subsided. That day, I misunderstood you as. That's why I let you go. However, you are not. You don't have to worry about this matter. Is that so? Such a boring topic, let's end it here. Speaking of which, the dream this time should be the Lanrua temple a few years ago, right? Ning Fan changed the topic. He was not interested in the coldness of the Rain Palace at all. To be able to summon a few hundred descendants from the mortal world, these old monsters of the Rain Palace must be really shameless. This is the day I met you a few years ago. Wait for the sky to turn dark. When the sky turns dark, an extremely annoying person will come. Let's kill him together. All right. Ning Fan agreed without hesitation. This time, he did not run around to avoid making Yun Ruowei unhappy again. The sky gradually darkened. The moon rose above the pine branches and sank down again. As the night deepened, an arrogant laughter finally came from a distance. It was unbearable to the ears. Ha! Yun Ruowei. Come out. Come out now. Let me touch your breasts. As soon as the icy rainbow appeared, Yun Ruowei's face was filled with killing intent. As for Ning Fan, he did not know whether to laugh or cry. When the icy rainbow dispersed, the person was none other than his 17-year-old self. She was dressed exactly the same as him in the past. However, her expression and words were definitely not his. Yun Ruowei. Come out. Come out. I like you very much. I want to hug you, lick you, and play with you. Yun Ruowei. I, Ning Fan, love you so much. Come out. Come out. I can't wait. I'm so thirsty. Such fragrant breasts. I like it. I like it. Looking at the figure that looked exactly the same as him in the night sky, Ning Fan almost vomited blood. As it turned out, Yun Ruowei's heart devil was not related to him at all. Instead, it was him. However, was he really so shameless and perverted in Yun Ruowei's heart? Why did the image in her dream turn into this? Kill him. You go. I can't do it. I can't do it. Yun Ruowei gritted her teeth and said. This. Alright, Ning Fan sighed softly. With a flash, he flew up to the night sky. As for the fake Ning Fan, as soon as he saw the enemy teleporting, he immediately showed a terrified expression and knelt down in the night sky. Grandpa, spare my life. I deserve to die. I only know how to flirt with women. I don't know how to fight. Sigh. Just die obediently. Even I feel ashamed when I see you. Ning Fan shook his head. With a point of his finger, he easily eliminated the fake Ning Fan. It was the first time in his life that he killed someone. It made him feel ashamed and extremely complicated. It would probably be difficult for him to kill himself for the second time. Moreover, it seemed like he would never be able to make Yun Ruowei have a good impression of him in this lifetime. It can't be helped. Her first impression of him had already turned into this. How embarrassing. Let's go. The heart devil has been eliminated. We can go now. Ning Fan smiled bitterly. He did not want to stay in this dream any longer. Chapter 181. The heart devil is finally gone. Yun Ruowei secretly heaved a sigh of relief. She struggled free from Ning Fan's palm and got down from the bed with a rather shy expression. Ning Fan rubbed his shoulders tiredly. To him, using the dream-entering technique was rather exhausting. What? Looking at Miss Yun's expression, could it be that you haven't completely eliminated your inner demons? No, thank you. She gently bit her lip and took a deep breath. Her words of thanks were extremely bashful. Ning Fan did not mind it at all. He was quite satisfied with the dream-entering technique. Soul-searching and memory erasing would heavily damage a cultivator's sea of consciousness, even turning them into an idiot. However, entering a dream was a good method to pry into a cultivator's memories. It was just that dreams could be real or fake. Compared to soul-searching, the degree of realism was somewhat lacking. In short, using the dream intrusion technique to pry into the memories of those close to him was not a bad idea. Only half a day had passed in the outside world. Yun Ruowei didn't stay any longer and left in a hurry. After getting rid of the heart devil, she no longer had any complicated feelings when facing Ning Fan. What she had now was the calmness that was as calm as water in the past. However, when he was about to leave, he hesitated for a moment before speaking to Ning Fan. After this demon tide is over, I probably won't return to Lanrua Temple. If you need help in the future, you can look for me at the Southeast Cultivator Alliance. I'll definitely do my best to help you. If necessary, I will come to you for help. Ning Fan cupped his fists and sent her down the stairs. With this woman's promise, it wouldn't be considered as helping her for nothing. Yu country and nearly 100 other cultivation countries were located in the southeast of the Rain World. This region was known as the Southeast Continent. The Southeastern Cultivator Alliance was a sectless cultivator alliance in the Southeastern Continent. As the divine messenger of the Rain Palace, why didn't she cultivate or carry out missions in the branch palace of the Rain Palace but went to the Rogue Cultivators Merchant Alliance instead? Ning Fan did not ask her the reason. The woman left. It was drizzling outside the building. Barefooted, she held the paper umbrella and left under the curtain of rain. However, after Ning Fan entered the building, she suddenly halted her footsteps and turned her head to look at the Mingyu Tower with a beautiful smile. I seem to have misjudged him. When it's time to be serious, he's quite serious. After sending Yun Ruowei off, Ning Fan returned to the building. He cleared his mind and meditated again. His qi and blood were abundant, and his injuries were completely healed. These were the benefits of consuming the 3 drops of demon blood. In fact, after his demonic power reached the half-step golden core stage, it was extremely easy for him to use the dream intruder technique. He stood outside the window and smiled as he watched the woman leave with an umbrella. Holding an umbrella, huh? Do you want to give an umbrella to fellow Daoistine? It's always nice to see a woman holding an umbrella, but which cultivator would hold an umbrella? While he was deep in thought, the Eastern Ocean bell in his storage pouch trembled slightly and disappeared without a trace. That tremble made Ning Fan frown. His spirit sense swept across 1,000 li but he did not discover anything unusual. Strange. Why is the Eastern Ocean bell trembling? Forget it, I'll be leaving in 10 days. The remaining days are just enough for me to fuse Separation Slayer with the ancient star system. Even so, Ning Fan still had some doubts in his heart. He performed a divination and felt a strange feeling in his heart. But the result of the divination was nothing but a bad omen. This undoubtedly meant that the person who wanted to kill him must have an extremely high cultivation base. He might even be, at the divine transformation realm. It's not revered Snow. There's only one other spirit severing realm expert left in the Gene Nation. Demon General Li Ban. Impossible. I killed his demon companions and captured the 2 of them. I don't think he would have any intention to kill me. If that's the case, it's better for me to leave Ju Shan Pass as soon as possible just in case. Millions of li away, in the depths of the Dragon Dream Swamp. This place was a swamp that was covered with green mist. The area within 10,000 li was carefully guarded by demons. In the depths of the swamp, a 3,000 zhang giant blood-red beast was lying dormant, absorbing the dragon qi in the swamp. This blood-red beast had a carp head with fangs, but its body was in the shape of a snake. Below the snake's body, there were 8 bloody claws. The blood-red scales glowed with lightning, transforming into a dragon's body. Blood carp transforming into a dragon. This beast was the true body of the divine transformation realm demon general. The blood-red eyes of the beast flickered. Within the lightning, the carp head gradually grew dragon horns and transformed into a dragon's head. This transformation lasted for 10 days. The mist in the swamp gradually thinned and was stained by the bloody light. As the bloody mist rolled, the giant carp completely transformed into a dragon's head. Suddenly, it soared into the sky and transformed into 1,000 zhang long blood dragon. At this moment, countless lightning tribulations struck down from the sky, causing countless small demons in the dragon dream swamp to tremble in fear. However, the blood dragon suddenly transformed into a naked man with blood-red scales all over his body. This man had a head full of red hair, making him look like a mad devil. In his left eye, there were 2 blood-red demon stars flickering in a demonic manner. On his forehead, there were 2 silver dragon horns that glowed with lightning. Demon General, Li Ban. Facing the lightning tribulation, the demon stars in Li Ban's left eye flashed. He opened his mouth and sucked all the lightning into his stomach. After that, he revealed a satisfied expression. Not bad. After the blood carp transformed into a dragon, I've cultivated my second demon avatar, the lightning dragon avatar. I'm no longer afraid of the lightning tribulation. No wonder it's a secret technique given by Lord Demon Commander. It's really useful. He retracted his cold smile and waved his hand. A necklace made of beast bones appeared in his palm. This necklace made of beast bones was extremely extraordinary. It contained a trace of void energy. It was actually a pseudo-void treasure. A pseudo-void treasure was a failed product of a void treasure. This necklace was probably given to this demon general by a void refinement realm or void fragmentation realm cultivator who failed to refine a void treasure. There were originally 12 beast teeth on it. Now, only 9 of them were glowing with a bloody light. As for the other 3, 2 of them were dim and the last one was broken. The tea demon and the wind demon have been captured and the lion demon is about to die. Humph. If it wasn't for this void accompanying necklace, I wouldn't have known that the 3 of them were killed by someone. The murderer is in Zhu Shanguan of Jin country. There's no mistake. There's blood qi on his body. It's left behind by the lion demon. He must be the one who killed the lion demon. However, this person seems to have a secret treasure on him. He was even able to block a trace of the void detection from my necklace. However, what surprised me was not the treasure that blocked the detection, but the ancient demon sacrificial tool on him. It was able to shatter my trace of void energy. The red-haired man's eyes turned cold. He sneered, but his words were cold. It doesn't matter if he's captured or dead. However, the lion demon has the immemorial star and immemorial dragon blood that I bestowed to him. I can't let them fall into this person's hands easily. As for the ancient demon sacrificial artifact in his hands, it's even more worth for me to take action. The mission that Lord Demon Marshal gave us can only be completed in the demon world. Before that, we should get rid of this person first. There were still 3 days left before the immemorial teleportation formation of Great Jin opened. After passing through dozens of cultivation cities, there were still 2.5 days left before the immemorial teleportation formation. Ning Fan had already resigned from his position as the 7th commander and left Zhu Shanguan with Yin Suqiu and Jingzhua. They used the teleportation formation to head towards the central region of Jin country. They came and left in a hurry. Currently, Zhu Shanguan should have sent out all their forces to attack and conquer the Jin country. However, all of this had nothing to do with Ning Fan. He had no interest in risking his life to fight against the spirit-severing realm demon general at the Dragon Dream Swamp. What he cared about was the sense of danger that was getting closer and closer. Every time he teleported, the sense of danger would be much weaker. However, not long after, the sense of danger would get closer again. It was as if there was someone chasing after him no matter where he teleported. Could it be that the spirit-severing realm demon general has avoided the decisive battle and is chasing after me? Ning Fan's heart shuddered when he thought of this possibility. He immediately teleported to the next location as soon as he arrived at the cultivation city. 2 days later, at the location of the immemorial teleportation formation of Jiang Prefecture City in the central region of Jin Country. Ning Fan only kept 300,000 battle points here and used the rest to exchange for immortal jades. After paying 300,000 battle points, the 3 of them were led to the immemorial teleportation formation under Jiang Prefecture City. The area of 1,000 li around Jiang Prefecture City was hollowed out and used to draw the formation map. The underground was humid and the stone pillars were long. Ning Fan did not say a word and released his spirit sense to cover 1,000 li. He was shocked when he counted the number of formation eyes. There were more than 70,000 formation eyes in this formation. He would never be able to lay this formation without the formation map. Even if he had the formation map and knew how to locate the formation eyes, he would never be able to connect all 70,000 formation eyes without Void Refinement Realm Spirit Sense. This formation was definitely an Immortal Void Realm Grand Formation. It could even be considered as a top-grade Grand Formation among the Immortal Void Realm formations. The Grand Formation could only allow 10 people to enter at a time. In the past, no one had to pay 100,000 Immortal Jades. Now, it was 100,000 battle points. This formation could teleport to more than 10 realms, but every time it was activated, it would cost 700,000 Immortal Jades. Even so, a single teleportation could earn 300,000 Immortal Jades. The Rain Palace would get 90% of the Immortal Jades and the Jin country would get 10%. Huge profits were bound to breed conflicts. Activating the Grand Formation once a year would reduce the income by 270,000 Immortal Jades. In 100 years, it would be 27 million Immortal Jades. In 1,000 years, it would be 270 million Immortal Jades. The King of Jin had lived for thousands of years. During the years when he ruled the Jin country, the income was reduced by hundreds of millions of Immortal Jades. Naturally, he was not on good terms with the Rain Palace. If he could obtain so many Immortal Jades, the King of Jin would have a chance to break through to the Spirit-Severing realm. The Jin country would also have a chance to become a high-grade cultivation country. The Rain Palace might have set up a branch in the Jin country to plunder Immortal Jades or to suppress the country's development. No matter what, this teleportation formation would make the Rain Palace and the Jin country rich. At the very least, it would require a huge amount of Immortal Jades to invite cultivators from other countries to deal with the demon tide. Perhaps even ordinary mid-grade cultivation countries might not be able to afford it. An Immortal Void Realm formation is indeed extraordinary. Ning Fan withdrew his spirit sense and praised. The cultivator who led the way immediately agreed after hearing Ning Fan's praise. Senior Zhou has such sharp eyes. This grand formation is indeed an Immortal Void Realm formation. Rumor has it that it was personally assessed by a formation master of the Rain Palace. I didn't expect Senior to be able to see through the mysteries of this formation during your first visit. You really have a pair of unique eyes. Ning Fan only nodded his head in response to the cultivator's flattery. Even so, the cultivator who led the way felt very proud. He was just an early gold core realm cultivator. It was really a blessing of 3 lifetimes to be able to talk to a nascent soul realm old ancestor. Moreover, this old ancestor's battle achievements were outstanding. Even the people in the central region of the Jin country had heard of him. Jing Shuo looked at Ning Fan enviously. If he succeeds in forming his nascent soul during this trip to the Endless Sea, he would probably be able to enjoy the same glory as Ning Fan. As for Yin Suqiu, when she saw Ning Fan's pretentious expression, she covered her mouth with her hand to hold back her laughter. She was thinking how complicated it would be if the Gold Core Realm cultivator who led the way knew that the person he addressed as senior was just a harmonious Spirit Realm junior who was not even 20 years old. 10,000 zhang under the ground was completely hollowed out to form a vast world which was supported by a talisman formation. The ground was paved with black slabs made of basalt. Occasionally, there would be holes filled with immortal jades which shone brightly. The eyes of the formation were connected with each other using their sense power. There were 7 people waiting for the grand formation to be activated. Among the 7 of them, 5 of them were Gold Core Realm while the other 2 were early nascent Soul Realm cultivators. When they saw Ning Fan and his group, even the 2 early nascent Soul Realm cultivators showed a friendly smile and cupped their fists to greet them. Chen Xiu greets Commander Zhou Ming. Oh. These 2 fellow Taoists look a little familiar. Hee hee. Commander Zhou, don't forget that we are also part of the Demon Extermination Division. We have met in the Cloud Palace when revered Snow summoned us. Both Chen Xiu and Yang Zhu were nascent Soul Realm cultivators from other countries. They were considered as old ancestors in their own mid-level cultivation countries. When they arrived at a low-level cultivation country, they would need to be welcomed by the entire country's cultivators. However, these 2 old monsters were extremely courteous when facing Ning Fan. There was no other reason other than Ning Fan's strength made the 2 of them fearful and admired him. Hee hee. So it's fellow Taoist Chen and fellow Taoist Yang. Nice to meet you. Ning Fan returned the greeting with a smile. However, his heart was filled with shock. It wasn't because of their respectful and coincidental meeting. Instead, it was because their faces were already showing signs of death. The study of physiognomy was extremely ancient and profound. However, it was easy to tell the signs of death. Occasionally, there would be some cultivators who would die a horrible death not long after. When it reached a certain extent, their faces would show signs of death. In other words, the 2 of them would die a horrible death not long after. Could it be that their deaths were related to the lingering crisis in my heart? Or could it be that Demon General Li Ban had chased them all the way to Jiangzhou City? Chapter 182. No, it's nothing. There was no way he could tell the 2 of them that he could see the look of death on their faces and that they were going to die very miserably later. Would anyone believe it? Saying that would offend people for nothing. Sigh, I heard that Commander Zhou Ming was heavily injured and had no choice but to resign from his position as the commander of the Jin Guards. We felt it was a great pity. Not at all, not at all. My abilities are shallow, and I was actually injured in the battle against the demons. I've made a fool of myself. I don't know why this teleportation formation is still not activated. Right now, I can't wait to leave Great Jin. Ning Fan frowned. The danger was getting closer and closer. It made it hard for him to calm down. Hee hee, fellow Taoist Zhou, there's something you don't know. This ancient teleportation formation can teleport you tens of millions of miles in a single go. The distance is too far. If there's any mistake, all of us will die in the void and be unable to teleport successfully. That's why we need to inspect it carefully for a few days before we teleport. Oh, that's right. Speaking of which, I'm preparing to teleport to the Middle Continent to participate in the pill gathering. As for fellow Taoist Yang, he's heading to the Western River to assist his sect. May I ask where fellow Taoist Zhou is heading to? For you to be in such a hurry, could it be that you have something important to attend to? Hee hee, if you can travel with us, it will be a pleasure. What a pity. I'm going to the easternmost region. The Endless Sea has some bottlenecks that I need to break through there. What? Bottleneck in cultivation? Is fellow Taoist Zhou about to break through to the late nascent soul stage? Chen Xiu and Yang Zhu's expressions changed. The former's attitude towards Ning Fan became even more respectful while the latter's eyes were filled with a hint of jealousy. Above nascent soul, every small stage has a huge difference. In terms of magic power, mid-nascent soul cultivators have twice as much magic power as early nascent soul cultivators. Late-stage cultivators had 3 times the mana of mid-stage cultivators. Peak nascent soul cultivators had 5 times the mana of late-stage cultivators. On the path of cultivation, the higher one went, the greater the difference in magic power. The difference in strength was also like heaven and earth. If Ning Fan really breaks through to the late nascent soul realm, the gap between him and the two of them would be even wider. How could they not be shocked? What they did not know was that Ning Fan was not a nascent soul realm cultivator at all. What he broke through was not the bottleneck of the late nascent soul realm but just the core formation realm. However, even if he told them face to face that Ning Fan was a harmonious spirit cultivator, they most likely wouldn't believe him. Chen Xiu was still in the mood to chat cheerfully and wittily, but Yang Zhu's expression was rather unsightly. What the two of them had in common was that they did not know that their deaths were imminent. Ning Fan knitted his brows tightly. The sense of danger that was getting closer and closer made him anxious. Can you enter the formation immediately? Sigh, fellow Taoist Zhou, why are you in such a hurry? We are delaying for a little longer for the sake of our lives. If there is a mistake in the teleportation, all of us will die a violent death. Chen Xiu laughed. I really have something urgent to attend to. I need to leave immediately. Can I request for the teleportation formation to be activated immediately? Ning Fan shook his head. If there was no sense of danger, it was natural for him to delay for a while longer. However, at this moment, he would rather waste less time than stay in Jin country for a second longer. Fellow Taoist Zhou, it's not that this old man wants to criticize you, but how can you be so stubborn? All of us have important matters to attend to, but we can't treat our lives as child's play just because of you, right? Yang Zhu said unhappily. However, Chen Xiu immediately coughed a few times to stop Yang Zhu from speaking. Ning Fan was a cultivator who was about to break through to the late nascent soul realm. It was not worthwhile to offend him for such a small matter, forget it. I've thought of a compromise. We will enter our respective formations while teaching those Gold Core Realm juniors how to check the formations. In this way, it will reduce the time needed to enter the formations. Is fellow Taoist Zhou satisfied with this? Chen Xiu chuckled and erased Yang Zhu's words. Ning Fan, on the other hand, nodded helplessly. In that case, he could only wait a little longer. After all, if they do not check the teleportation formations carefully, it would be dangerous for them to be buried in the void. What Chen Xiu said was not unreasonable. In that case, I will wait a little longer. In the underground, under the guidance of the cultivators who were guarding the formations, everyone entered different formations. This underground grand formation was divided into more than 10 towns. Each of them could teleport to more than 10 different destinations. In the Endless Sea town, only Ning Fan and the other two were waiting. Ning Fan sat cross-legged on the ground. He did not put down his tortoiseshell and placed it on the ground. As expected, it was a great omen. The more he divined, the more dangerous the divination became. It made Ning Fan's expression fluctuate. The sense of danger became more and more intense. They could not stay in Jin country for too long. They must immediately travel tens of millions of li and arrive at Ing country to avoid this calamity. Is something big going to happen? The corner of Jing Zhu's eyes shrunk. He could see the worry in Ning Fan's eyes. Yes. I have a bad premonition. Then, why don't we leave quickly? Suqiu looked at Ning Fan's solemn expression. Based on her understanding, Ning Fan would never do things without thinking. Alright, Ning Fan nodded and asked one of the cultivators who was guarding the formation indifferently. How much longer do we need to check the formation? Senior, we still need 2 more hours, that's so long. We can't wait any longer. Open the formation now. This. The cultivators who were guarding the formation revealed a troubled expression. If they do not check it carefully, they would not be able to bear the responsibility if something happens to the teleportation formation. As for Yang Zhu, he said with dissatisfaction. Fellow Taoist Zhou Ming, why do you have to force others to do something that is beyond their control? Don't tell me that you, a dignified nascent soul realm old monster, don't even have the willpower to wait for 2 more hours. Aya. Fellow Taoist Yang, be careful with your words. Chen Xiu persuaded Yang Zhu. He shook his head while crying and laughing. His meaning was obvious. Fellow Taoist Yang, do you want to die? That Zhou Ming is a ruthless person who could even kill a mid-nascent soul realm expert. Why do you want to offend him? Yang Zhu's expression turned ugly. He was used to being arrogant in his own country. It was really uncomfortable to lower his head in front of Ning Fan. He let out a heavy sigh and nodded. All right. Quickly activate the formation light. Fellow Taoist Zhou Ming should be satisfied now, right? Since Yang Zhu and the others had agreed, the Gold Core Realm Guards did not dare to disobey them anymore. All the work of checking the formation was carried out in a simple manner. After confirming that there were no mistakes, the Gold Core Realm Guards did not dare to delay and immediately activated the formation light. Strands of void energy surrounded everyone, causing ripples to reverberate between heaven and earth. Ning Fan gently closed his eyes. Perhaps this way, he could avoid the danger. Finally. I'm finally going to arrive at the endless sea. Core formation, nascent soul, spirit severing, void returning, void fragmentation. Step by step, he would increase his strength at the fastest speed possible. Unlike Ning Fan, Yin Suchio's heart was filled with disappointment. Once they arrive at the endless sea, she and Ning Fan would have to part ways. Will they ever meet again in this life? This journey was unforgettable. Will I be able to play a flute for him in this life? However, Great Jean seemed to be filled with unpredictable dangers. It might be better to leave earlier. But she still felt disappointed. The formation light flickered and the heaven and earth shook. The 10 people who entered the formation were illuminated by the light. After a few breaths, they would be teleported to their respective destinations. Yang Zhu's expression was as cold as water. He snorted coldly, as if he was still dissatisfied with the fact that he had lowered his head to Ning Fan. However, at the moment when the formation light shone, a bloody demonic chi spread across the entire Jiangzhou city. Then, a cold laughter was heard. You won't be able to escape after killing my demon companion. I've finally caught up to you. In an instant, all the cultivators in Jiangzhou city felt their souls tremble. Underground, Chen Xiu and Yang Zhu both turned pale with fright in that instant. Spirit-severing demon general. Impossible. Shouldn't the demon general be at the Dragon Dream Swamp? Why is he here? At this moment, even Ning Fan's heart was filled with shock. He didn't expect that he couldn't escape from the demon general's pursuit even though he had been extremely careful and refused to fight. There's no mistake. This bloody chi was exactly the same as the blood-scaled shadow that was destroyed when he subdued the female demon. There's no mistake. That lingering sense of danger was brought by this demon. As the demon general chased after him, a demonic chi enveloped the entire Jiangzhou city. Demonic art, blood sea. In the midst of that cold voice, the entire Jiangzhou city within a 1,000 li radius was shrouded by the blood-colored light. Miserable screams could be heard as everything turned into pus and blood. All the cultivators were killed. In the ruins, the 10,000 zhang underground was shattered by the blood-colored light, revealing the blue sky and the sun. In the sky, a red-haired blood-scaled man was standing. He was looking down at the sea of blood beneath his feet. His eyes were filled with indifference and an irresistible spirit-severing realm aura. His eyelids twitched. He didn't expect that he was one step too late. The human who killed his demon companion had already hidden in the teleportation formation. The formation light had already been activated. He would be teleported in a few breaths. What a cunning human. After he successfully transformed into a dragon, he secretly left the dragon dream swamp and sneaked into the land of the human race to chase after this person. However, he didn't expect this person to be faster than him. He used the teleportation formation to cross countless cultivation cities, making him tired of chasing after him. With the formation light activated, even he wouldn't dare to enter the formation recklessly under the power of the void. From the looks of it, he could only use his demonic art to kill the murderer in the formation before the teleportation to stop the teleportation. His blood-colored eyes flashed and the blood-colored light became even brighter. Each and every cultivator outside the teleportation formation was already horrified. Those who were shrouded by the blood-colored light immediately turned into pus and blood and died a violent death. The cultivators who guarded the formation died in a single breath. Out of the 10 people who entered the formation, 5 unfamiliar gold core realm cultivators died under the blood-colored light. Yang Zhu and Qin Xiu used their supreme-grade magical treasures to resist the blood-colored light. However, their magical treasures were full of cracks and would break at any time. The blood-colored light shrouded Ning Fan and the others. His back was drenched in cold sweat. Even his strongest magical art couldn't resist this blood-colored light. As for his trump card, the spirit-severing realm attack, it was impossible for him to use it against the demon general. Without any hesitation, he pointed his finger, causing the terrain within 1,000 li to collapse and turn into Ning Fan's finger. Sword finger, mountain shattering. When his finger pressed down, a gray sword light that was half an inch thick appeared. It was a finger and a sword, but it carried a loud rumble that could collapse mountains and crack the earth. As the finger pressed down, the blood-colored light screen within 1,000 zhang fiercely shook and shattered. Yang Zhu and Qin Xiu were lucky enough to keep their lives. As for the blood-scaled man, he stood in the air and was slightly surprised. A harmonious spirit realm junior blocking my blood sea technique is quite extraordinary. But what will happen the next time the blood-colored light attacks? Ning Fan's current realm was far from enough to block the blood-colored light. He could only slightly disperse it. After a while, the blood-colored light condensed again and attacked again with the same power. However, Ning Fan's strength was almost exhausted after that finger attack, making it difficult for him to use the sword finger again. The reason why he could disperse the blood-colored light was because the demonic art was weakened by half by the void power of the teleportation formation. Is this the huge gap between me and a spirit-severing realm demon general? Ning Fan wiped the trace of blood from the corner of his mouth and his eyes revealed a cold light. There were only 2 breaths left before the teleportation formation was completed. He must block the blood-colored light within these 2 breaths. The teleportation formation had been activated. In another 2 breaths, he would be able to safely teleport thousands of li away. Even a demon general would not be able to catch up to him. 2 breaths. Even Yang Zhu and Qin Xiu realized that these 2 breaths would determine whether they would be able to survive or not. Yang Zhu regretted it greatly. No wonder Zhou Ming kept asking to leave as soon as possible. He didn't expect Jiangzhou City to be targeted by a spirit-severing realm demon general. If he knew this earlier, he wouldn't have stopped Zhou Ming from activating the formation earlier. Perhaps, he would be the first one to ask for the formation to be activated so that he could leave as soon as possible. Just as he was regretting, the second wave of blood-colored light had already arrived. Yang Zhu's heart skipped a beat and his magical treasure missed. He was immediately enveloped by the blood-colored light and died a violent death. He only had himself to blame for his death. He could have avoided death if he had listened to Ning Fan's suggestion. As for Chen Xiu, his magical treasure was destroyed and his physical body was buried in the blood-colored light. However, his nascent soul was lucky enough to escape from the blood-colored light. Without any hesitation, he dashed towards Ning Fan. Escaping to the middle province and participating in the pill gathering were no longer important. What was more important than his life? In his opinion, if he wanted to escape this time, he would have to rely on Ning Fan to protect himself. After all, during the first wave of blood-colored light, Ning Fan had protected Jing Zhua and Yin Suqiu from any harm. Fellow Taoist Zhou, save me. Save me. After this, I will definitely give you all my life savings. Chen Xiu's tiny nascent soul hid behind Jing Zhua and Ning Fan while trembling. Protecting one person was protecting 3 people was also protecting. If he couldn't delay them for another 2 breaths, any nonsense would be futile. Ning Fan did not object to Chen Xiu hiding behind him. He only wanted to resist the second wave of blood-colored light. Sense Defense Art. The ink-colored sword sense flew out at this moment and turned into a black cocoon, wrapping everyone inside. The sense defense art used all of one's sense power to resist once. With Ning Fan's sense power, he could only use it once a day. However, its defensive power was terrifying. It could withstand an attack from an early nascent soul realm cultivator and a mid-nascent soul realm cultivator. However, such a defense immediately melted when the blood-colored light came. Ning Fan's sea of consciousness was severely injured and blood flowed out from his 7 orifices. Ning Fan's face was covered with blood after the sense defense art was broken. However, his eyes revealed his ruthlessness. He gritted his teeth. The broken black light immediately turned into black sword sense and fiercely slashed at the blood-colored light, destroying the remaining blood-colored light. The injury to his sea of consciousness became more serious. However, he managed to withstand the second wave of blood-colored light. There was still 1 breath left before the teleportation. Li Ban, who was standing in the sky, was surprised. Ning Fan was just a harmonious spirit cultivator, but he was able to withstand 2 waves of his blood-colored light. It seemed like it wouldn't be easy to use the blood-colored demonic technique to take down this person in the last breath. Other than the blood-colored demonic technique, he had other means to deal with a harmonious spirit cultivator. I have said that you can't escape. Dragon Tendon, appear. Li Ban pressed his finger on his glabella and fiercely pulled out a long silver whip that was surrounded by lightning. This item wasn't anything else. It was the dragon tendon that was condensed from lightning when Li Ban transformed into a blood carp. This dragon tendon didn't need any refinement to be as strong as a supreme rank magical treasure. It had many magical uses that even a magical treasure couldn't compare to. For example, a magical treasure couldn't penetrate the void and hit Ning Fan's body, but this dragon tendon could. Die. As the whip lashed down, tens of thousands of lightning bolts rolled down. Under the shadow of the whip and lightning, 1,000 li of land was split into 2 halves by Li Ban. Even the formation eyes under the ground were destroyed by this whip. Even if the teleportation was successful, there wouldn't be enough formation power to isolate the void. Ning Fan and the others would die for sure. The shadow of the whip lashed at Ning Fan. There was no way to avoid it. If the whip fell, he would die for sure and his storage pouch would belong to Li Ban. Eastern Ocean Bell, an ancient demon sacrificial artifact. This item was very important to Li Ban. But at this moment, Ning Fan patted his storage pouch and took out the Eastern Ocean Bell. The small golden bell grew in the wind. Ning Fan's eyes flashed with coldness and he punched the golden bell fiercely. Li Ban. You've gone too far. This punch contained the fusion of his magical power and demonic power. His magical power was infinitely close to mid-gold core realm. He had activated 40% of the power of the Eastern Ocean Bell. The sound wave turned into a golden ring of light and spread out from the Eastern Ocean Bell. As the ring of light trembled, even the lightning whip was frozen in place for a moment. It even trembled slightly due to fear. What? The corner of Li Ban's eyes shrunk. He had already found out that Ning Fan had an ancient demon sacrificial artifact. However, he only thought that it was a supreme rank magical treasure and didn't pay much attention to it. He only valued it because it was an ancient demon sacrificial artifact. However, he didn't expect that the sacrificial artifact would be so strange. Not to mention the dragon tendon lightning whip, even Li Ban himself was afraid of the golden sound wave. It wasn't the body freezing technique, but the demonic deterrence that made the lightning whip not dare to move recklessly. What kind of demonic chi did the sound of the bell contain? Just a trace of it was enough to make the lightning whip want to submit. It made Li Ban's heart tremble. Then, something happened that made Li Ban even more furious. Ning Fan touched his glabella. A ray of starlight flew out and turned into a sword shadow, cutting the dragon tendon. The dragon tendon was condensed by the lightning power of the immemorial lightning dragon. It was invisible and would never break. That was why the man in the blood Qilin felt at ease and used it as a treasure to whip Ning Fan. However, under the slash of the starlight sword shadow, the invisible lightning whip was cut into two. That sword light was too fast and too sharp. It was so fast that Li Ban didn't have time to pull back his lightning whip. When he was shocked and pulled back his lightning whip, there was only half of the dragon tendon left. The remaining half fell into Ning Fan's hand. The dragon tendon was invisible and couldn't be cut. Only an immemorial divine weapon could cut it. That starlight sword shadow was able to cut the dragon tendon. It was undoubtedly an immemorial divine weapon. Moreover, there were too many stars in that sword. Li Ban's eyes were filled with killing intent. Those immemorial stars were the things that he gave to the lion demon. His dragon veins had been severed by his own star iron. You deserve to die. He glared at Ning Fan but found that Ning Fan was also glaring at him. At this moment, Ning Fan's eyes flashed with a cold light. He stared at the man in the blood Qilin fearlessly. At the last breath, the formation light flashed. Ning Fan and the others were no longer here. There was only a mess, ruins, a sea of blood and corpses. But Ning Fan's words were still echoing in this place. The trace of killing intent in his words made Li Ban tremble. Li Ban. Today, you hit me with your dragon tendon. I will cut your dragon tendon. If we meet again in the future, you won't be able to escape death. Li Ban's eyes widened with killing intent. He never thought that a mere harmonious spirit Ning Fan, who was supposed to be an ant that he could capture easily, would escape from his hands. Blocking his blood light twice, cutting off half of his dragon tendon and opposing him. Leaving behind harsh words. This kid is hateful. However, I have destroyed countless formation eyes of the immemorial teleportation formation. Without the protection of the formation power, even if he can teleport, he will certainly be crushed by the void power. Unfortunately, that ancient demon sacrificial tool will also be sleeping in the void. I'm afraid I will need at least 100 years of hard cultivation to reconstruct my dragon tendon. Li Ban clenched his fists. Although Ning Fan was dead, he suffered such a loss when he killed a harmonious spirit realm cultivator with his spirit-severing realm cultivation. But at least, I can bury this kid in the void. At least, I can reduce the hatred in my heart. Li Ban's gaze landed on the countless cultivators rushing over. One of the snow-white lights caused his eyes to shrink. Spirit-severing realm cultivators of the human race are really annoying. Forget it. I have finally succeeded in transforming into a dragon. I will stop the demon tide and go to the demon world. I believe the demon king of the demon world has already arrived and is ready to welcome me. The mission of the demon marshal must be the first priority. His red hair fluttered in the air. Li Ban sneered and turned into a bloody light. As for the demon tide of Great Jean and the remaining companions, he did not care about them at all. He was so cold. However, he was destined to be disappointed. One day later, Ning Fan and the others finally arrived at Ing country even though they were heavily injured. Void power? What is there to be afraid of? Ning Fan had the Eastern Ocean Bell which could restrain the void power. Chapter 183. Yun Ruowei stood among the ruins and looked at the broken teleportation formation. Her heart was filled with annoyance. That stinking brat, don't tell me, he's dead, sigh. I didn't expect a spirit-severing realm demon general to attack Jiangzhou City. It seems like Commander Zhou Ming and the others died in the teleportation formation. Jia Xiu sighed. No. He's not dead. He's definitely not dead. Yun Ruowei bit her lips and felt even more annoyed. Ing country was immersed in a sea of pink flowers in April. The closest city to the endless sea was Edo City. It was 1,000 miles away city filled with cherry blossoms. The most powerful force in Edo City was Xiu Shan Temple which was guarded by a nascent soul realm cultivator. The most famous place in the city was the heaven-evading boat which could dive into the deep sea and the cultivation spring which could increase one's cultivation level. At the place where the spirit vein was the most abundant, elegant female cultivators with green skin were bathing naked in the cultivation spring. Chen Xiu was very annoyed. During the long teleportation, Ning Fan planted a mental seal on him and took away his storage pouch which contained his life savings. This was his reward for what he had promised. When the teleportation platform in Edo City flashed, his small nascent soul realm cultivator, Ning Fan and the others were teleported out. However, he did not have the mood to appreciate the picturesque scenery of Edo City. Ning Fan was still pretending to be a mid-nascent soul realm cultivator but he was severely injured. Chen Xiu's small nascent soul realm cultivator could not be faked but his physical body was destroyed. As soon as they arrived at Edo City, the three great nascent soul realm cultivators of Xiu Shan Temple panicked. The three nascent soul realm female cultivators flew into the sky with fear. Even they did not dare to neglect the arrival of two nascent soul realm cultivators. When they noticed Ning Fan and Chen Xiu's injuries, their fear lessened slightly. With their injuries, they would not be able to do as they please in Edo City. However, their injuries made them wonder what kind of injuries could cause two nascent soul realm cultivators to be so severely injured. The three female cultivators of Xiu Shan Temple were wearing the clothes of Ing country. One of them was an old woman who was a mid-nascent soul realm cultivator while the other two were an early nascent soul realm cultivator. Edo City was the territory of female cultivators. Male cultivators usually lived outside the city. Only nascent soul realm old monsters could enjoy special treatment. Cough cough. Fellow Taoists, how do I address you? Are you from Great Jin? The old lady who was leaning on her dragon-headed walking stick asked Ning Fan politely. She could tell that Ning Fan was the leader of the group. I am Zhou Ming. This fellow nascent soul cultivator is fellow Taoist Chen. This half-step nascent soul cultivator is fellow Taoist Jing. This woman is my Taoist companion. Just as fellow Taoist had expected, there was a slight accident when we were teleporting away. As a result, we were severely injured. Please forgive me. Ning Fan smiled faintly and attributed his injuries to a mistake in the teleportation. After all, it was rather shocking to be able to escape with their lives after being injured by a divine transformation realm expert. Dong! Something. Is there something wrong with the void defense? He was inwardly shocked. It would be understandable if the people in front of him were injured by the power of the void due to a mistake in the defense of the void. Not to mention nascent soul cultivators, even soul formation cultivators had their bodies torn apart and only their primordial spirits managed to escape. However, to be able to escape from the void, other than luck, one's strength must be extraordinary as well. The old woman and the looked at Ning Fan with some fear. As for the young woman, her eyes were filled with lust. She winked at Ning Fan with a hint of charm. The women of Ing are always so frivolous. Fellow cultivators, you're seriously injured, but you can recover quickly if you stay in the cultivation spring of Aizu City. Since you're all nascent soul cultivators, I'll make an exception and enter the city. The injury is a small matter. Is there a heaven-evading boat that can immediately sail to the endless sea? What? Now that you are seriously injured, you must immediately head to the endless sea. Not to mention that we don't have a boat right now. Even if we did, I wouldn't allow you to die in the endless sea with injuries. When you go to the endless sea, you must not have any injuries. Taoist friend, don't you know? While leading the way into the city, the 3 female cultivators explained the situation of in-country to Ning Fan. The heaven-evading boat would leave once a month, and there were 10 boats in each boat. This boat had just left not long ago and had yet to return. It was estimated that there would be another 20 days before it could return. As for not getting injured, it was referring to external injuries. In other words, cultivators must not let out a trace of blood qi. Otherwise, they would be in great danger. The reason why the heaven-evading boat could travel at such a fast speed was because it was called the heaven-evading boat. By borrowing the power of the tide and the power of the ancient water-evading formation, its speed in the water was almost comparable to a late nascent soul realm cultivator flying at full speed. In the endless sea, there was a bloodthirsty demon race, the mermaid race. Mermaids were sharks. This demon race was the hybrid of the ancient shark race and the human race. They were born in the sea but they could not leave it. Their eyes had degenerated, but their sense of smell was very sensitive. Moreover, none of them could cultivate, but they were born with a terrifying bite that could tear gold core realm cultivators apart. Once the smell of blood comes from the sea, countless frenzied mermaids would immediately come to attack them no matter how faint it was. It was extremely dangerous for an injured person to travel on a heaven-evading boat. Even if they had internal injuries, who could guarantee that they would not cough out blood during the journey and attract the attention of the mermaids? For this reason, Ning Fan could only wait in Aizu City for a while. It was just 20 days. He could wait. It was also a good choice to treat his injuries with the cultivation spring in Aizu City. Chen Xiu was still depressed. He was soaking in the same spring as Jingzhuo while being watched by the latter. Ning Fan did not let him go, but he did not kill him either. His attitude was ambiguous, which made Chen Xiu feel extremely depressed. If it was Chen Xiu who picked up a cultivator's nascent soul for free, he would also not let him go easily. A cultivator's nascent soul can be used as a sacrificial material for magic treasures. It can make magic treasures sharper. It can be used as a condiment for pill concoction to improve the quality of the pills. If it's used to refine corpses, souls or devil cultivators, it would be even more useful. If it's used to refine corpses, souls or devil cultivators, it would be a great tonic. I was saved by Ning Fan, but he did not let me go. My future is bleak, fellow Taoist Chen, you don't have to feel so dejected. Fellow Taoist Zhou will let you go. Jingzhuo said with a smile while soaking in the cultivation spring. Impossible. Fellow Taoist Zhou is a cold and indifferent person. He kills mercilessly. It's already rare that he did not kill me. How can he let me go? Chen Xiu sighed. There's a woman who will plead for you. Jingzhuo laughed. Ning Fan soaked in the cultivation spring and leaned against the stone platform. He was exhausted both physically and mentally. Escaping from the hands of the spirit-severing demon general had exhausted all of his magic power, physical strength and mental power. His injuries were even worse. However, his fatigue gradually disappeared in the mist of the spring. His injuries were also recovering at a relatively fast speed. He could not help but feel surprised. This cultivation spring was indeed a supreme treasure for cultivation and healing. 20 days was enough for him to recover 70 to 80% of his injuries. At that time, he might have to part ways with Suqiu. I'm a little reluctant. He shook his head with a bitter smile. He was being too sentimental. There was a formation around the cultivation spring to prevent people from peeping. The higher the quality of the cultivation spring, the higher the formation. The cultivation spring that Ning Fan was soaking in was one of the 3 best places in Edo City. Even nascent soul realm cultivators would not be able to spy on him. Even if they did, Ning Fan was not afraid of being seen bathing in Edo City where there were only women. Amidst the mist, the wooden door was pushed open with a squeak. It was Suchio who walked in with a red face and a towel wrapped around her body. She was still disguised as Ning Fan's Dao companion in this city. According to the decadent custom of Ing country, husband and wife should bathe together. Even though she was protected by Ning Fan, she was still slightly affected by the bloodlight and needed to use the cultivation spring to heal her injuries. Moreover, she wanted to plead for Chinshio. Thus, she had no choice but to endure her embarrassment and come to the same spring with Ning Fan. Oh. I was wondering who it was. So it's my Dao companion? Ning Fan teased. Suchio's cheeks immediately turned red and her face turned as red as blood. Can't you be more serious? I'm already very embarrassed. However, you seem to be in good spirits. It seems like this cultivation spring is very helpful for your recovery. I'm slightly relieved now. Although she was relieved, Suchio walked to the edge of the spring. She could not take off her towel and enter the bath no matter what, she secretly cursed. Why is the custom of Ing country so open-minded? Even if they are Dao companions, they might not be so shy to bathe together. Even if they are husband and wife, they would still wear undergarments to cover their embarrassment even when they are having sex. If fellow Daoist Yin is embarrassed, you don't have to take off your towel. Just go into the spring. This cultivation spring is full of spiritual qi. Not only can it improve your cultivation level, but it can also nourish your skin. If you feel embarrassed even with a towel wrapped around your body, then I might as well close my eyes and not look at you, there's no need to go through so much trouble. Seeing Ning Fan purposely closing his eyes while peeking at her through squinted eyes, Yin Suchio was extremely annoyed. When she thought about how Ning Fan had molested her feet when she was healing her injuries and how Ning Fan had seen every part of her body when she was under the evil claws of the female demon, she could not see much even if she was wrapped in a towel. Yin Suchio gently bit her lips and finally made up her mind. She went into the spring. However, she still felt a little uncomfortable with the towel wrapped around her body. The distance between her and Ning Fan was about 1 zhang. She had something she wanted to say. Why are you hesitating? Are you begging me to let Chinshio go? Ning Fan smiled bitterly. This Yin Suchio loved to uphold justice too much. If he refined Chinshio into a magical treasure in front of her, she would probably go crazy. Fellow Daoist Chen is a nascent soul realm cultivator of the righteous path. He has an upright character. I heard that when he was in his country, Yin Suchio wanted to talk about Chinshio's good points, but Ning Fan frowned and waved his hand. I'll let him go, but I don't want to hear you praising other men. He did not want to kill Chinshio in the first place. Chinshio was quite polite to him and even gave him his lifetime savings. Other than magical treasures and pills, there were more than 1 million immortal jade. I'll let him go then. Ning Fan's head was slightly heavy. Tiredness overwhelmed him and he fell asleep while leaning on the stone platform. The journey to the 4 countries was indeed tiring. Yin Suchio blamed herself. Because of her, Ning Fan always did things that went against his will and always got himself into trouble. She did want to plead for Chinshio, but more than that, she wanted to say something to Ning Fan. After parting here, she was afraid that they would never meet again. These 20 days were the last time they spent together. What she really wanted to say was that she was reluctant to part with him. However, when Ning Fan started snoring, Yin Suchio let out a faint sigh. If that's the case, I won't have the chance to say it. You like to show off too much. After you improve your cultivation in the Endless Sea, you won't have to suffer so much. Yin Suqiu stood up and quietly closed the distance between her and Ning Fan in the mist. She sat on the spring and they were almost touching each other. She mustered up her courage and hooked her arms around Ning Fan's neck. She pulled the sleeping Ning Fan into her bosom and pressed him against her soft body. Her face was filled with embarrassment, but she was reluctant to let go of him. She hugged him very, very tightly. Ning Fan slept very deeply. In the midst of the haze, he felt that his face was pressed against a soft and milky place. However, his eyelids were too heavy and he could not open them. The night in Edo was a little melancholic. Cherry blossoms danced in the air and fell into the spring. The atmosphere was charming. This was a place where people parted. The cultivators who entered the endless sea would go their separate ways here to pursue their own futures. I hope you will remember me. Yin Suqiu's voice was so soft that it could not be heard in the night. She quietly kissed Ning Fan's lips. It was jerky and they parted immediately. Chapter 184. It couldn't be helped. His sea of consciousness had suffered an unprecedented injury. It would take a lot more time to recover compared to his physical body. He would need at least a few years to recover. It seemed like he could only enter the Lost World Palace to slowly recover. Chen Xiu was very surprised. Ning Fan really let him go, except for the mental seal, fellow Taoist Zhou. You. Are you really willing to let me go? That's right. I heard that fellow Taoist Chen is a peak third revolution pill master. The reason why you are going to the middle state to participate in the pill gathering is to break through the bottleneck of your pill concoction technique. We are all pill masters. Of course, we have to help each other. Ning Fan was talking nonsense. Ah. That's right. Fellow Taoist Zhou is a fourth revolution pill master. I see. I will never forget fellow Taoist Zhou's kindness of saving my life and letting me go. Chen Xiu almost shed tears of gratitude. He left Edo with a smile on his face. However, as soon as he left Edo, his expression turned cold. He regained the demeanor of a nascent soul realm old ancestor. His eyes scanned through the crowd of gold core realm cultivators outside the city. When he found a peak gold core realm cultivator, he revealed a cold smile. I'll choose him. Half a day later, Chen Xiu's nascent soul took over the body of that unlucky peak gold core realm cultivator. He still needed some time to recover his nascent soul realm cultivation base. However, he was not in a hurry. He disguised himself as that cultivator and left in country for the middle state. Ning Fan did not care about Chen Xiu anymore. Perhaps he would go to the middle state next year to participate in the pill gathering and meet Chen Xiu again. However, at that time, his strength would be far beyond Chen Xiu's imagination. The heaven-fleeing ships returned to their destinations one after another. The three of them stood by the sea, bathing in the sea breeze and watching the ships coming and going. In his hand was a jade slip with a map of the endless sea. The map covered tens of millions of li of the endless sea. However, it only covered 1/10 of the endless sea. The internal sea was 100 times bigger than the outer sea. The endless sea was very vast. The outer sea was still considered safe. The internal sea was a place where even nascent soul realm cultivators would not dare to enter. Among the thousands of floating islands in the endless sea, the 10 sects and 3 islands were the strongest. According to the rumors, there were a total of 103,000 islands in the inner endless sea, and many ancient tribes and beasts lived there. Yin Suqiu's destination was one of the 10 sects, the Bai Yao sect. It was a sect that only consisted of female cultivators. Her childhood friend was the sect master here, and it was rumored at the Green Jade Immortal Island, where the Green Jade sect was located, had the sect master of this sect for several generations, and had long been a deity transformation cultivator. Ning Fan and Jingzhua's destination was the Penglai Immortal Island, one of the 3 islands. It was where the Lost World Palace was located. Amidst the sea breeze, Ning Fan kept the jade slip and turned to look at Sucio. After we part ways here, I wonder if we will ever meet again. I don't think so. That's good too. Sucio's expression was cold, as though parting was nothing to her. Is that so? Then it's really a pity. Recently, I've been sleeping soundly every day. I vaguely dreamt that I was lying on a soft place. If we part ways, I'm afraid I won't have such a treatment anymore. Ning Fan shook his head with a regretful look. Immediately, Sucio's face turned red and she stuttered. I don't know what you're talking about, is that so? I'm probably dreaming. Ning Fan laughed and finally eased the atmosphere. The seventh ship floated up from the sea and the seawater poured down. The ship was about 1,000 feet long and could carry hundreds of people. As soon as the ship set sail, a female cultivator from in country immediately collected the money and welcomed the guests to board the ship. Fellow Taoists who are going to the Green Jade Immortal Island, you can board the ship after paying 30,000 immortal jade. Another 30,000 immortal jade. I've spent a lot of your money on this journey, right? Sucio said shamefully. It's just 30,000 immortal jade. It's still less than 970,000 immortal jade compared to the 1 million immortal jade that Yunquang bought. You've been treating me with a smile every day, and I'm the one who owes you a lot of money. Take this storage pouch. There are some immortal jade in it. You can use it. Sucio took the storage pouch and checked it with her spirit sense. Her face turned pale, but her heart was filled with warmth and sweetness. 500,000 immortal jade. Isn't it too much? It's not much. I'm just giving you half of Chinshou's assets. You're going to form your nascent soul soon. After joining the Green Jade sect, don't be reluctant to spend money. As for the female cultivators of Song Country, I won't give them to you. There are so many of them. If they follow you on the heaven-evading ship, it will cost me millions of immortal jade. You still want to take them as human cauldrons in the end. Sucio lowered her head and felt slightly disappointed. I've promised you that I won't pluck them, so I won't. There will be no lack of human cauldrons along the way to the endless sea. They are your disciples. In the future, I will go to the Green Jade Immortal Island to see you and send your disciples to be your disciples. Before that, you just need to focus on your cultivation. The horn of the heaven-evading ship sounded, urging the cultivators to board the ship. Sucio kept the storage pouch and no longer said anything. Her gaze fell on Ning Fan's face and she smiled indifferently. I believe in you. She turned around and leaped onto the ship, the horn sounded. Finally, the heaven-evading ship sailed into the deep sea. After a short journey, Ning Fan remained silent while Jing Zhuo comforted her. He. Fellow Taoist, you don't have to worry. This heaven-evading ship is a one-way trip. There is a divine transformation realm concealment formation. This formation is made of the endless sea's unique spiritual ore, the sea stone. It has a special divine effect in shielding one's senses. The only thing you need to pay attention to is the merman's blood. As long as there is no blood, there won't be any danger. You can go all the way to the Green Jade Immortal Island. Fairy Sucio will be fine. When your cultivation base is higher in the future, you can go to the Green Jade Immortal Island and make Fairy Sucio proud. Wouldn't that be a pleasure? Thank you for your kind advice, fellow Taoist Jing. As long as she is safe and sound, I will have nothing to worry about. The 8th and 9th heaven-evading ships emerged from the sea one after another. The 10th ship was the one that would go to the Penglai Immortal Island. Ning Fan and Jing Zhuo paid the immortal jade and boarded the ship. Under the sound of the horn, the ship sank into the sea. In the deep sea, the heaven-evading ship was like a water arrow, rushing towards the Penglai Immortal Island that was 37 million li away. Its speed was extremely fast. It was almost 100 times faster than the 7 apricot house. In just a few months, it would be able to cross 37 million li and reach the Penglai Immortal Island. Ning Fan remained silent throughout the journey. He stood at the bow of the heaven-evading ship and looked at the creatures in the sea under the cover of the formation light. 1 month, 2 months. Without the familiar sound of the flute, he was not used to it. Fortunately, Ning Fan and Yin Suchio's heaven-evading ship were on the same route in the first half of the journey. He could see a water arrow flying in front of him, but there was no ship. Because of the stone, even Ning Fan could not see Yin Suchio's ship. Yin Suchio most likely could not see Ning Fan's ship behind her. However, Ning Fan was still looking ahead. He could faintly feel that Yin Suchio was also standing at the stern of the ship, looking at him from afar. His heart was as heavy as the sea. In this vast deep sea, in this endless sea, the power of a cultivator was truly minuscule. Occasionally, there would be sea beasts that were bigger than mountains that brushed past the heaven-evading ship. The aura force emitted from them was comparable to a nascent soul realm old monster, causing the expressions of the passengers to change drastically. However, Ning Fan turned a blind eye to it. As for those sea beasts, they did not attack as if they could not sense the chi of the heaven-evading ship. The sea stone is really mysterious. On the 3rd month, the 2 ships sailed into the Black Reef Sea area, and went their separate ways. The 2 hidden water arrows turned around and went their separate ways. 3 days passed and everything was still calm. However, on the 3rd day, the heaven-evading ship was in a panic. Ning Fan stood at the bow of the ship and frowned. He had a bad premonition. Fellow Taoist Jing, what happened? I don't know. It seems like one of the heaven-evading ships sent me a message asking for help. Which one? Ning Fan's eyes turned cold. Fellow Taoist, don't worry. It's definitely not Suchio Xianzi's ship. As soon as Jing Zhua's voice fell, the anxious voice of the cultivators controlling the ship was heard. Fellow Taoists, something bad has happened. The 6th heaven-evading ship sent a warning. It said that a group of mermaids attacked the ship. It's not because of blood chi but because a nascent soul realm devil cultivator used a secret technique to control the mermaids. As soon as he said that, the ship was in chaos. What? A nascent soul realm devil cultivator controlled the mermaids to attack the ship. Where did they come from? Why did they attack the ship? The mermaids have low spiritual intelligence. They can't be raised like ordinary demonic beasts. What kind of devil cultivator can even control the mermaids? The ship was in chaos but Ning Fan secretly heaved a sigh of relief. Fortunately, it was the 6th heaven-evading ship that was attacked. The route of the 6th ship was very far away from the 7th and 10th ships. Even if this ship came to the rescue, it might not be able to make it in time. Moreover, even if it could make it in time, why would the cultivators on this ship be willing to save strangers? Humph. We have paid the money. It's not our ship that was attacked. Why should we save them? Most of the cultivators who could afford to pay 30,000 immortal jades were gold core realm experts. Even a nascent soul realm devil cultivator would be afraid of hundreds of them working together. However, these people did not know each other. How could they fight together? It was even more impossible for them to fight against the nascent soul realm old monsters and mermaids just to save a strange ship. Under the urging of the cultivators, the cultivator controlling the ship heaved a sigh of relief. In fact, he did not dare to save the ship that was attacked. Ning Fan closed his eyes and his expression was cold. To him, the 6th heaven-evading ship was attacked. It had nothing to do with him. Suddenly, he opened his eyes in disbelief. The voice of the cultivator controlling the ship resounded in the ship again. No. Not good. The 6th heaven-evading ship was destroyed by nearly 10,000 mermaids. None of them survived. The 7th heaven-evading ship also sent a request for help. At this moment, countless cultivators on the ship turned pale with fright. A mermaid was enough to bite a gold core realm cultivator to death. Nearly 10,000 mermaids. So many of them were controlled. This was definitely not normal. Our safety comes first. We can't save the 7th ship. If you dare to change the direction of the ship, I will kill you. Don't kill them. Once the blood qi is dispersed, we will be attacked by the mermaids. The people on the ship were in a panic. Ning Fan's mind was also in a mess. The 7th heaven evading ship was where Yin Suqiu was. Fellow Taoist Ning, what should we do? Jing Zhuo's expression was as calm as still water. Yin Suqiu would definitely be in danger if the 7th ship was attacked. Moreover, there was a nascent soul realm devil cultivator holding the line. Putting aside the fact that the cultivators on his ship could not defeat the enemy, even if they could, they would not be able to save her in time due to the distance of at least 300,000 li. This was the heavens will playing tricks on people. Just like his wife, Yun Hua, who became a refined corpse in the end. Yin Suqiu was probably going to die. His ship was also going to be in great danger. Jing Zhuo did not know how to advise Ning Fan. Suddenly, Ning Fan turned around and leaped out of the formation light of the sea tower. The moment he appeared in the sea, he immediately attracted the attention of several gold core realm giant beasts. However, Ning Fan's eyes were as cold as ice. With a sweep of his sword sense, all the sea beasts were turned into a pool of blood. Fellow Taoist Jing Zhuo, go to Penglai Immortal Island by yourself. I will go to this island after I save her. Fellow Taoist Ning. Don't do anything stupid. The boundless sea is extremely dangerous. With your strength alone. With my strength alone, I can't let anything happen to her. At this moment, Ning Fan's black hair danced wildly. His eyes were as cold as ice and a demonic black mark appeared on the left side of his face. His body dispersed and turned into a black shadow. After a while, he was already 1,000 li away. This was his fastest instantaneous movement speed. In one day, no, in half a day, he could travel 300,000 li to save Yin Suqiu. However, every time he teleported, the injuries on his sea of consciousness that had yet to recover would immediately worsen. Even if he was at his peak condition, teleporting 300,000 li would still cause serious injuries to his sea of consciousness. Now, it was even more dangerous. But at this moment, there was nothing that could stop his footsteps. He swallowed a bottle of burning blood pill and numbed his injuries with his killing intent. There was only madness left in his eyes. Nothing must happen to her. Jing Zhuo's voice came from the sound transmission jade on his waist. Fellow Taoist Ning, come back. According to the latest news, the grand formation of the 7th heaven fleeing ship has been broken. Fellow Taoist Yin is most likely. Pa! Ning Fan clenched his fist and crushed the sound transmission jade. His eyes were cold but firm. Chapter 185. Step by step, he stepped into the endless sea. This dangerous sea region known as the cultivation tomb could not stop him at all. Fate was full of misfortunes. He had lived an ordinary life in the Ning family, but he had been sold to another country's devil sect. When he met his master, he felt the warmth of his master for the first time in his life. But when his master's cultivation was fully restored, he was plotted against by his evil disciple. He had saved Ninggu, but Ninggu could no longer pursue the path to immortality. He had broken through to the gold core realm, but his heart demon was actually Zhihe. When he met Suqiu, she turned from being heartless to having feelings for him. When she gradually developed feelings for him, the two of them separated. At the moment when they were separated, he made her suffer a calamity. From the beginning to the end, she had never expressed her feelings for him. She was afraid that her feelings would only add to his troubles. This lady's only happiness was that she only had the courage to hug Ning Fan when he was asleep. But was it the will of the heavens for this woman to die? Heavenly Tao. Fate. If this is my fate, then how can I cherish this life? At this moment, his words were cold and his eyes were eerie. A will to defy the heavens and slay the heavens grew infinitely in his heart. Nothing must happen to her. Because I'm here. It was like a million claps of thunder roaring through the depths of the sea. As of this moment, there was a madness about him that caused the sea beasts to tremble. Like a black bolt of lightning, it rumbled and flew in the sea. In the ocean, a group of cultivators was traveling across the sea in a hurry. Not all cultivators knew how to travel through the sea. Even the thousands of islands in the endless outer sea had ships traveling between them. Anyone who dared to travel in the sea must be an expert. There were about 10 people in this group of cultivators. The leader was a mid-stage nascent soul cultivator. Behind him were about 10 golden core cultivators. This group of cultivators was the cultivators of the profound firmament sect from the mystic light celestial island. The middle stage nascent soul realm old man was an elder of the sect, and he was leading some outstanding disciples to train in the sea. But at this moment, they did not have the heart to train and only wanted to flee in the sea. Terrifying, too terrifying. Even the mid-nascent soul realm elder's face was filled with astonishment. Nearly 10,000 mermen, under the lead of several nascent soul realm devil cultivators, were attacking a ship with all their might. To be able to control close to 10,000 merfolk, this kind of beast-taming method was simply unheard of. These demonic cultivators were definitely from the inner sea. There were no such crazy demons in the outer sea. What do they want to do? The nascent soul realm old man didn't even dare to think about this. Almost as soon as he found out that the other party was powerful, he immediately took the sect's golden core realm disciples and fled. As for the demonic cultivators, they seemed to have noticed that the old man was a mid-stage nascent soul cultivator and was difficult to deal with, so they didn't chase after him. Lord Elder. Who were those people? They were too terrifying. A few hundred golden core realm cultivators and several early-stage nascent soul realm cultivators were actually utterly defeated under the merfolk siege. A golden core realm disciple said in fear. Mo1. Be careful with your words, the nascent soul stage old man said sternly. He had to return to the sect immediately. If that group of fiendish cultivators changed their minds and turned back to kill him, he would not be able to stop the demons. However, all of a sudden, the old man who was initially escaping stopped abruptly with a shocked expression. 1,000 miles away, a black light with monstrous killing intent was rapidly approaching. The black light teleported 500 kilometers in the blink of an eye. It appeared in front of the cultivators, shattering thousands of undercurrents and waves. White clothes, black cloak, black hair like ink, eyes like ice. This young man was alone, but his appearance made the nascent soul realm old man feel an unprecedented sense of danger. Especially the teleportation just now. If the old man wasn't wrong, this young man had shattered his own sense of perception to forcefully teleport away. Lunatic. Lunatic. Who would shatter their own sense of perception to teleport away? The terrifying strength and the craziness around him shocked the old man. This person must never be offended. Did you see the 10,000 merfolk attacking the ship? The young man's indifferent voice was like thunder, exploding in the hearts of all the cultivators. The old man's face turned pale and he took 2 steps back. This kind of magical power was even more mysterious than the later stage nascent soul realm cultivator's harmony of sound with heaven and earth. What kind of cultivation does this young man have? Could he be a grand cultivator at the peak of the nascent soul realm? 10,000 miles to the east, there were indeed 10,000 merfolk attacking the ship. This is the recording jade scroll that I left behind. My friend, please take a look. Is this the ship you are looking for? Without any hesitation, the nascent soul realm old man patted his storage pouch and took out a jade scroll. He handed it to the young man without hesitation and immediately saluted with his fists before leading the group away. That jade scroll was something that he had painstakingly left behind and intended to hand over to the sect. But now, he handed it over immediately just to satisfy the young man and let him go. "Thank you." The young man scanned the area with his spirit sense and his eyes flashed with cold light. His body exploded again and condensed again. He teleported 1,000 miles away. 10,000 miles to the east. The ship that was attacked was the Seventh Heaven evading ship. When the image was left behind, the ship's grand formation had already been destroyed. Was the ship still safe and sound after such a long time? Teleportation. 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 Ning Fan recklessly dashed across the sea. Every time he teleported, his sense of perception would shatter a little. He was still 30,000 miles away from the place that the old man mentioned. 100 Zhang sea beast with the size of a mountain was emitting an early nascent soul realm aura. It opened its giant mouth and devoured the corpses in the sea. These corpses belonged to the cultivators who managed to escape from the ship when it was attacked. Most of them had already died in the sea. The few who were still alive looked helpless in front of the nascent soul realm sea beast. "It's the Sea King beast. We must die. We must die." The Sea King beast was the demon king of the sea. Each of them had a nascent soul realm cultivation base. This 100 Zhang sea beast looked like a huge purple octopus. Its countless tentacles casually swung the corpses into its mouth and devoured them. Its tentacles finally reached towards the few gold core realm cultivators who were severely injured but still alive. However, at this moment, a black light flashed and appeared in front of the gigantic beast. Immediately, it exploded. Black Tempest Soul Splitting Technique. Thousands of black sword lights pierced into the gigantic beast and purple blood gushed out. The sword lights exploded and the gigantic beast's body exploded. Tainted blood splattered everywhere. A small purple octopus demon nascent soul was horrified and desperately tried to escape. Terrifying. It's too terrifying. What was that black light? It destroyed my demon nascent soul with just a single attack. The black light condensed and Ning Fan appeared. His face was pale but he couldn't find Yin Suchio's corpse among the corpses in the gigantic beast's stomach or the corpses on the ground. "It's good that she's not here. Senior. It's a nascent soul realm senior. Senior, save me. I'm a disciple of Jujo Immortal Island. If Senior can save me, I'll definitely." Noisy. Ning Fan's cold voice was like a thunderclap that exploded in the hearts of the surviving cultivators. Their faces turned pale. He shattered his sea of consciousness and activated the power of his spirit sense to teleport away. The lives and deaths of these gold core realm cultivators had nothing to do with him. He's getting closer. In the last 30,000 li, there were wrecked ships and corpses of cultivators everywhere. In the distance, there were nearly 10,000 black demons that blotted out the sky. These demons were all mermen. They had the tail of a fish and the body of a human. Some were ugly and some were beautiful. However, all of their eyes were empty and they let out strange sounds as if they were crying. They revealed their sharp fangs and bit the corpses as if they were tasty fish and prawns. Occasionally, there were cultivators who were still alive and used their magical treasures to attack the mermen. However, these mermen could survive for a short period of time even if their heads were crushed. They often tore apart gold core realm cultivators with their bare hands. Above all the mermen, there were 3 early nascent soul realm devil cultivators who sneered. "These mermen have been raised well. The 7th elder will definitely be satisfied. Hee hee. I think that the girl just now is not bad. However, it's a pity. She might have been torn into pieces by this merman. If she's torn into pieces, we'll sew her up. Then, we can turn her into a refined corpse and have fun on her body." The 3 devil cultivators revealed a lustful smile. However, at this moment, a black dot flashed across the sky like a bolt of lightning. It teleported 1,000 li away and appeared among the group of mermen with an aura that could crush everything. Each of the mermen was strong enough to tear a gold core realm cultivator apart. However, Ning Fan was not afraid of them. With a sweep of his sword sense, hundreds of mermen who were comparable to gold core realm cultivators were minced to death with miserable shrieks. Mermen could not die even if their heads were chopped off. However, if their physical bodies were destroyed, they would not be able to survive. Within the black sword and the sea of blood, a cold and indifferent young man started a massacre as soon as he appeared. Every time he used his sword sense, a portion of his sword sense would crumble. However, his killing intent was still insane. How dare you? Who gave you the courage to kill the mermen raised by our demon sealing palace? The eyes of the 3 nascent soul realm devil cultivators were filled with shock. However, their shock quickly turned into killing intent. Each of them took out a bone flute and a sound shell, attempting to control the mermen to surround and kill Ning Fan. As soon as the devil voice resounded, tens of thousands of mermen screamed in agony as if they had gone mad. Their hands and heads were in pain, producing sharp sound waves. The voice of 10,000 mermen instantly made Ning Fan's physical body tremble and his bones felt like they were about to break. The most powerful thing about the mermen was not their tearing force but their devil voice. One merman's voice was nothing to be worried about. However, the voice of 10,000 mermen could even kill a nascent soul realm cultivator. With this devil voice, a few devil cultivators forced the hidden heaven evading ship to reveal itself. In the end, they even broke the formation light. Get lost. Ning Fan's eyes were filled with madness. He patted his storage pouch, took out the last piece of Immortal Execution Order and crushed it. All of a sudden, the shadows of 4 swords appeared in the deep sea. A trace of Immortal Execution intent locked onto one of the 3 devil cultivators, causing his expression to change drastically. Under this sword energy, even the numerous mermaids were filled with fear. Ning Fan covered his chest and spread out his spirit sense. After sensing In Suchio's location, he used his sword sense to open a path and teleported to her location. Thousands of li away, at the wreckage of the heaven-evading ship, there were only a dozen or so cultivators who were defending against the mermen's attacks. One of them was a woman whose magic power was almost depleted. Her face was pale and she was holding a shining crystal ring in her hand, destroying the mermen that were besieging them. I'm so tired. There's no end to killing these mermen, I'll die. Indeed, I won't be able to see him again after this farewell. But will he be alright? Will he be attacked by the mermen? I don't think so. He's so powerful. Moreover, he won't know that I'm dead. After all, I've never expressed my feelings to him. In Suchio gritted her teeth stubbornly. After destroying a merman with her ring, she was shaken by the sound waves of several mermen, almost causing her internal organs to rupture. Puff. She coughed out blood continuously. The blood stimulated the mermen even more and they roared towards her. The ferocious demon claws were already closing in on her. The world seemed to be frozen in silence, however, at this moment, her pretty face was filled with shock. A strong arm hugged her tightly and thousands of black sword scents exploded in the sea. Get lost. Ning Fan's sword sense swept across and destroyed the group of mermen. Without turning his head, he carried In Suchio and ran away. You. Why are you here? You shouldn't have come. Put me down and run. In Suchio was stunned and panicked. Compared to the fact that she would die, she was more afraid that Ning Fan would die. Shut up. Ning Fan coughed out a mouthful of blood onto In Suchio's clothes. The injuries inflicted by Demon General Li Ban were far from being healed. His sea of consciousness was almost completely shattered after forcefully teleporting again and again. Now, it was extremely painful for him to activate a trace of spirit sense. It was as if his sea of consciousness would be completely shattered at any time and he would die in the endless sea. If it wasn't for his severe injuries, he wouldn't have used the immortal execution order to block the nascent soul realm devil cultivators. He would have used the Black Tempest divine clone technique to kill the three of them. He could no longer use such a powerful technique. The aura of the immortal execution order behind him seemed to be weakening. It should have been destroyed by the three devil cultivators. He did not dare to stay any longer and teleported towards the next sea region. Are we going to die? Where are we going? In Suchio's heart was no longer important. She had imagined thousands of ways to die. Most of them were to die to help those in danger. However, she had never thought that she would die together with Ning Fan in a sea region that no one knew about. If she could die together with Ning Fan, perhaps it would be better than the other ways to die. I won't die. I will send you to the Green Jade Immortal Island. First, get rid of the flies behind us. Ning Fan's sense power was exhausted and it was difficult for him to teleport anymore. He gritted his teeth and activated the Thunder Wind wings. Immediately, the 2-3 zhang tall lightning wings on his back flapped violently and he flew away. Behind him, there were nearly 10,000 mermen. They were already left behind by his speed. However, the two nascent soul realm devil cultivators were still chasing after him like maggots attached to a bone. As for the other devil cultivator, even though he resisted the immortal execution order, he was severely injured and did not chase after Ning Fan. Even though these devil cultivators did not know Ning Fan's background, they could see that Ning Fan was severely injured. All of his techniques were self-harming and he did not have the strength to fight against any of them. Such a person actually dared to wantonly kill the merman even after we gave him a warning. This person's actions would definitely cause us to be punished by the elders. This man is extremely hateful and deserves to be killed. Moreover, the method he used to kill the merman made the hearts of the two devil cultivators palpitate. This man has condensed the sword consciousness and sword sense. Moreover, the power of his sword sense is far beyond what was recorded in the ancient records. Perhaps, he has a secret technique that cultivates sword sense. If we can obtain this technique and offer it to the elders, we will certainly be able to make a great contribution. However, the two of them did not expect that Ning Fan could still maintain the speed of an early nascent soul realm cultivator despite being severely injured. Originally, the two devil cultivators thought that it would be a piece of cake for them to catch up to Ning Fan after his injuries became more severe and his speed decreased. However, Ning Fan's speed did not decrease at all even after chasing them for tens of thousands of li. On the other hand, the two devil cultivators had consumed a lot of their magic power. Second brother, what should we do? Should we teleport to catch up to him? The tall and skinny devil cultivator asked sternly. No. Let's delay him for a while. It's safer to exhaust his magic power. This man's sword sense is rather terrifying. The short devil cultivator said with a solemn expression. After another tens of thousands of li, Ning Fan's speed did not decrease at all. At this moment, the short devil cultivator finally realized something and said angrily. This man's speed did not decrease at all. He must have some kind of flying spiritual equipment. Moreover, his speed is so fast. It's highly possible that he is at the profound earth realm. We have wasted so much of our magic power in vain. This man did not even use a single bit of his magic power. Second brother, don't be angry. Hee. Profound earth spiritual equipment is a good item. This man is already at the end of his rope. If we teleport to catch up to him, we will surely be able to kill him and obtain the spiritual equipment. How about that? That's great. How are we going to distribute the spiritual equipment that we snatched? Since this man has profound earth spiritual equipment, he must have a lot of treasures on him. Are we afraid that we won't have enough? No matter what, that woman belongs to me. The short devil cultivator said with a lewd smile. Of course. The two devil cultivators exchanged glances. In their eyes, Ning Fan, a nascent soul realm cultivator who was severely injured, was already a lamb waiting to be slaughtered. Both of them activated the primordial force of heaven and earth. Black light flashed and the distance between them and Ning Fan rapidly shortened. Courting death. Ning Fan's eyes flickered with a cold light. He did not care what this devil cultivator wanted to do in the endless sea. However, he would not show any mercy to those who violated him. Ning Fan flapped his thunder wind wings and rushed towards the surface of the sea. Not far away, the shadow of an island was reflected on the surface of the sea. As he rushed out of the sea breeze blew. His thunder wind wings was the fastest as he rushed towards the floating island. As for the two devil cultivators, they sneered coldly and descended the moment Ning Fan and Yin Suqiu landed on the island. This island was called Hengshan Island. Although it was floating in the sky, it was only 10,000 li wide. The Henyin sect on the island was just an early gold core realm sect with 1,000 people. When Ning Fan, Yin Suqiu, and the two nascent soul realm devil cultivators arrived, the formation light of the floating island trembled and immediately shattered. A spirit realm grand formation could not even stop these people from advancing. The old ancestor of the Henyin sect, Wang Heng. An early gold core realm cultivator. At this moment, he no longer had his usual arrogant expression. Instead, his eyes were filled with terror. Two nascent soul realm devil cultivators, a severely injured nascent soul realm expert and a peak gold core realm old ancestor. Why would these people come to my small floating island? What are they trying to do? Fight? Fight? Unlucky. Unlucky. Why did you guys come to my island to fight? How could this small island withstand the fluctuations of a battle between nascent soul realm experts? Hee hee. Brat, you're not going to run anymore. You can't run anymore. Weren't you very powerful when you killed my mermaid demon just now? The short devil cultivator sneered. I'm not going to run anymore. Since you guys want to die, I will fulfill your wish. Black armor, kill. He patted his storage pouch and a black light flashed. He turned into a black-armored refined corpse and threw a punch at the skinny and tall devil cultivator. The power of the punch actually caused countless cracks to appear on the supreme-grade sound shell of the devil cultivator. As for Ning Fan, he put down the lady in his arms and condensed the remaining violent killing intent in his body onto the tip of his finger. Sword finger. Cough cough. As soon as he finished speaking, he coughed out blood. However, the mountains on Hengshan Island collapsed and the earth cracked. Every mountain that collapsed turned into sword chi and went into the tip of Ning Fan's finger. This finger was clearly 100 zhang away. However, the moment it touched the short devil cultivator, his soul trembled violently and a deathly aura rose within him. All of his disdainful feelings towards Ning Fan were crushed at this moment. Not good. This man is seriously injured but he still has such a technique. Run. You can't escape. Sword finger. Mountain shattering. This finger seemed to have gathered all of Ning Fan's strength and turned it into a peerless sword light. The short cultivator's face was filled with shock. Only a late realm cultivator like the seventh elder could display the power of this finger. Stupid. The two of us are really stupid. The person that we are chasing after is actually a ferocious devil. It's a devil that can shatter mountains with a single finger. Without any hesitation, the short cultivator frantically used his magic treasures. Bone flute, round shield, flying needle. Each of them was either supreme grade or peak grade high grade magic treasures. However, when he pointed his finger at them, heaven and earth shook as if a mountain was pressing down on them. All of his magic treasures were shattered. As for the short cultivator's body, it was crushed into a mist of blood. His nascent soul revealed an anxious face. As soon as his body exploded, he immediately performed a hand seal and escaped with teleportation. However, Ning Fan's eyes were filled with coldness. With a flash of lightning star, the lightning of heaven and earth locked onto his nascent soul. Die. Under his command, the thunder and lightning of the heavens and earth fell in submission. The short cultivator's nascent soul was destroyed. As for the tall and skinny devil cultivator, he didn't show any sorrow when he saw his second brother's death. There was only fear. Although his second brother was an early nascent soul realm expert, he wasn't far from breaking through to the mid-nascent soul realm. However, his body was destroyed by Ning Fan's finger. You. Who are you? Not good. He didn't have the intention to continue the battle and chase after Ning Fan. It was too late for regrets. Why did he have to chase after Ning Fan? If Ning Fan wasn't injured, he wouldn't have chased after him. However, he saw that Ning Fan was injured and easy to bully. That was why he chased after him. Even though Ning Fan was injured, he still had a trump card. Escape. But, could he escape? He made up his mind and performed a hand seal to detonate the supreme grade sound shell magical treasure. Amidst the rumbling magical power, the explosion hit the black corpse and he immediately teleported away. In his opinion, such an explosion would probably kill the black corpse. However, at the moment when he was about to teleport away, a corpse refinement iron fist rumbled in the smoke and dispersed the primordial force of heaven and earth. It stopped the tall and skinny devil cultivator from teleporting away and pulled off one of his arms. Arg! The tall and skinny devil cultivator let out a blood-curdling scream. However, Ning Fan had already flapped his thunder wind wings, gritted his teeth and flew towards him. His eyes were filled with coldness. He stomped on the tall and skinny devil cultivator's head, causing his brains to splatter everywhere. Since his physical body was already dead, his nascent soul immediately flew out of his dantian, trying to escape. However, Ning Fan's eyes were filled with ridicule. He slapped down with a palm of lightning, immediately dispersing the primordial force around his nascent soul, making it hard for him to teleport away. With a single hand, he caught the small nascent soul in his palm. The tall and skinny devil cultivator's nascent soul panicked. He cried out in a half-pleading and half-threatening manner. You can't kill me. I'm the infant attendant of the demon sealing palace in the endless sea. If you kill me, my demon sealing palace will certainly. Noisy. Lightning flashed on Ning Fan's palm. The nascent soul immediately let out a miserable cry and fainted. Ning Fan kept their storage pouches while searching their memories. The memories of the tall and skinny devil were all recorded in his mind. Immediately, his expression turned gloomy. Infant attendants of the demon sealing palace, san. Humph. It seems like I've stirred up trouble. But so what if it's the demon sealing palace? He had promised Tsuchiyo that he would save her whenever she was in danger. Even the demon sealing palace would not be able to force him to break his promise. Ning Fan's gaze suddenly shifted towards a certain direction of Hengshan Island and said in a stern voice. The owner of this island, come and see me within 10 breaths. Chapter 186. A skinny old man who was only 5 feet tall and wore a black robe stood in the sea with an ugly expression. Although he was scrawny and ugly, his old eyes were bright and full of vigor, just like an eagle. Furthermore, his cultivation base was at the late nascent soul realm. In the demon sealing hall, he was known as Old Eagle Crane. He was furious, extremely furious. Out of the 3 life soul pendants in his hand, 2 had shattered. There were nearly 10,000 mermaid demons in front of him, but thousands of them had died. Among the dead merfolk demons, there were even several merfolk demon king beasts that he had painstakingly cultivated. Air and San are dead. Who did it? He was clearly short and ugly, but when the old man got angry, the sea around him began to boil. In front of him, Ada, who had been heavily injured by the immortal execution order, had a weak aura. When the old man's aura reached him, he immediately revealed a look of fear. "Don't be angry, seventh elder. That madman dared to kill the infant attendants of the demon sealing sect. He's dead meat. Every infant attendant of the demon sealing sect will leave a jade life soul pendant in the hands of the elder. Once they die, the elder will be able to find the culprit easily with this jade pendant." "Nonsense. Of course, I know that. However, are you sure you didn't see wrongly? That person is heavily injured." The old man's eyes turned cold. "I can't be wrong. That person's sea of consciousness seemed like it could collapse at any moment. He wouldn't be able to live for long. If it weren't for the fact that they seemed to be heavily injured, my stupid second and third brothers wouldn't have taken the initiative to chase after that person." "Good, very good." A seriously injured nascent soul cultivator was still able to kill 2 early-stage nascent soul cultivators. This person should have a life-saving trump card, but this trump card has most likely been used up. Even if it hasn't been used up, it's useless against a late-stage nascent soul cultivator like me. This old man must kill this person. The eagle crane old man chuckled coldly and turned into a black streak of light. He took the initiative to kill, so he had 3 choices. Firstly, the other party's cultivation was not higher than his. Second, the other party was injured. Thirdly, the other party had a great treasure on him. These 3 conditions were obviously met by Kwang Tu, so the eagle crane was extremely happy to chase after this person. Ha! A nascent soul cultivator was severely injured. How dare you go against the demon sealing sect? You're courting death. Endless Sea, Hengshan Island. After Ning Fan plundered all the immortal jades on the island, he asked the unlucky old ancestor Wang Heng for a clear map of all the nearby sea regions. He didn't care about the island anymore. He flapped his thunderstorm wings and left in a hurry with Yin Suchio in his arms. He didn't plant a psychic seal. There was no need. In the endless sea, without the restraints of the Rain World's law, killing people, robbing treasures, seeking revenge and slaughtering people's clans was a common occurrence. Although the cultivators on the island saw him kill someone, they didn't know who he was, nor did they know who he was. It was impossible for them to leak any information about him. This was the greatest advantage of the endless sea. In this place, Ning Fan did not need to show mercy when killing people. As long as he had sufficient strength, he could destroy an island and slaughter tens of thousands of cultivators and no one would care at all. However, he had to escape immediately. The result of the soul-searching technique made Ning Fan's face turn solemn. The 2 nascent soul realm devil cultivators that he had killed were actually members of the Sea Devil sect in the Endless Sea. The Demon Sealing Temple. One of the 72 sects of the Endless Sea, a sect with an early divine transformation realm master. The 2 devil cultivators were raising mermaids to attack the outer Endless Sea. It seemed like they were going to select a king beast from the mermaids during the battle and use a secret technique to make them grow. The elder of the demon sealing temple would use a secret technique to track down those who killed the infant servants. The person who was responsible for these 2 devil cultivators seemed to be the 7th elder of the demon sealing temple. He was a late nascent soul realm cultivator called the Eagle Crane. He checked his immortal veins and found that after killing the infant servants, there were 2 traces of grey chi left in his body. With his magic power, he couldn't erase them. The grey chi would make the Eagle Crane track him. He could sense that the Eagle Crane was trying its best to track him and get closer to him. After a moment of silence, Ning Fan's eyes revealed a hint of disdain. When the grey chi came into contact with the All-Heaven relic, it was immediately enveloped by the light of the relic and he couldn't sense it anymore. With this relic, Ning Fan was not afraid of being hunted by the demon sealing temple. Go after them. Just chase after them like headless flies. The All-Heaven relic is really useful. When the All-Heaven relic blocked the grey chi, the Eagle Crane old man who had just left the Black Reef area nearly coughed out blood. He stood on the surface of the sea and his eyes were filled with astonishment. It was like a drop of water falling into the ocean. It was hard to find any trace of that drop of water. That madman actually has a way to hide from me. Impossible. Impossible. Cultivators below the divine transformation realm can't erase the secret technique of my demon sealing temple. Could it be that he is a divine transformation realm cultivator? No. Impossible. Even a severely injured divine transformation realm old monster can kill me with just a finger, let alone those useless infant servants. In that case, does he have a powerful magical treasure that can block off other people's senses? If that's the case, I can rest assured. Hee. I have already imprinted his appearance into my memory. Since he is severely injured, his speed will definitely be slow and he won't be able to teleport. I will slowly search along the sea area and I will definitely find him. If I can find him, I can conveniently seize his magical treasure that can block off other people's senses. It will be a wonderful thing. Let me check his name. Is his surname Zhou? No, it doesn't seem right. It seems like a fake name. But if his surname is really Zhou, could it be that he is a member of the Zhou clan of the Eternal Endless Sea? No. Definitely not. If this person is a member of the Zhou clan, then his act of killing the infant attendants is not to bring disaster to the demon sealing hall but to our demon sealing hall. We must kill him even more. We must never let the Zhou clan know that my infant attendants have the guts to kill a disciple of the Zhou clan. He shuddered. No matter what Ning Fan's identity was, he had to find this person first and decide whether to kill or torture him. However, he did not know that Ning Fan was not related to the Zhou clan of the Internal Sea at all. What the eagle and crane didn't know was that Ning Fan had the thunderstorm wings that could allow him to fly infinitely. Even though he was severely injured, it was not difficult for him to fly at full speed. The eagles and cranes were destined to be unable to find Ning Fan. In the vast sky, Ning Fan suppressed his injuries and carried Yin Suqiu in his arms. His expression did not change at all. The sea breeze carried a salty taste, but the fragrance of Yin Suqiu's hair was like the fragrance of autumn osmanthus. His clothes were thin and the beauty was delicate. When his heart was moved, he did not feel restrained at all. Yin Suqiu, on the other hand, leaned into his embrace. Her heart ached and she blamed herself. I'm sorry. If I didn't encounter a disaster at sea, your injuries wouldn't have worsened. Why do you have a bitter face? It's just a small injury. With all the pills I have, it won't be a problem for me to recover in a few days. Just smile. How can I smile when you're injured to this extent? Why do you always like to act tough? Why? Yin Suqiu hugged Ning Fan's neck and her shoulders trembled. If you die, what should I do? What should I do? If I die, you will marry someone else. Ning Fan still had the mood to tease her. I won't change. Yin Suqiu agreed. However, she immediately realized that she had fallen into Ning Fan's trap. Marry someone else? We haven't officially married each other and we haven't even shared a bed. How can I marry someone else? How can I marry someone else? Who wants to marry you? If it wasn't because of her image, Yin Suqiu really wanted to bite Ning Fan's shoulder. It was really too infuriating. Oh. You actually don't want to marry me? Then, won't I bleed for nothing? I originally wanted to have dual cultivation with you to heal my injuries and nourish my primordial essence. Dual cultivation. If we do that kind of thing, it can really heal your injuries. Yin Suqiu revealed a stubborn and serious expression. This made Ning Fan embarrassed to tease this conservative and inflexible woman. Next time. If there's a need, I will look for you. Who knows, I might even make love to you. This time, I will send you back to the Green Jade Immortal Island. You've saved me many times. I, Yin Suqiu, have no way to repay you. Even if you pluck me and want to take me as your cauldron, I, Yin Suqiu, will never say no. The stubborn woman said with a serious expression. The Green Jade Immortal Island was still millions of li away. Ning Fan decided to send her off personally. During the 1-month journey, Ning Fan held Suqiu in his arms. Even when he patted her buttocks mischievously, she still did not resist despite blushing. Ning Fan could not help but laugh. This Yin Suqiu was determined to repay him with her body. Even if he were to find an uninhabited island and make love to her, she would not refuse. The current him was not suitable for dual cultivation. However, after he forms his core, he could have dual cultivation with Suqiu. Yin Suqiu was a stubborn woman. Once she has set her mind on something, she would not look back. Ning Fan knew that Yin Suqiu had set her mind on him. After traveling for millions of li, the sea mist turned into rain. Several parts of the sea were in the rainy season. The two of them appeared on a mid-grade floating island. They took the sea boat and rushed to the Green Jade Immortal Island at an even faster speed. 2 months later, the sea was covered with mist. The Green Jade Immortal Island could be seen from afar. Ning Fan arrived at the shore of the floating island. Yin Suqiu also got off the boat. At the moment when they landed on the island, a female cultivator who was guarding the island immediately came to ask them questions. Seniors, may I know what's the matter that brought you to my Green Jade Immortal Island? I was passing by this place. This is Suqiu Xianzi. She is a rogue cultivator who wishes to join your sect. What? This senior wants to join my sect. The two female cultivators who asked questions were just at the vein opening realm. They could not tell Ning Fan and Yin Suqiu's cultivation base. However, from the way they landed on the island, they were at least at the harmonious spirit realm. The two of them were just outer sect disciples. If a harmonious spirit realm expert joins the Green Jade Immortal sect, he or she could become an inner sect disciple. The two of them did not dare to neglect Yin Suqiu. I'm sorry. A harmonious spirit realm cultivator joining the sect is not something we can handle. Please allow us to call the sect deacon. The two of them did not dare to neglect. One of them took out her sound-transmitting jade and gave a few instructions. Immediately, a few beautiful silhouettes came from a distance and landed on the ground. There were more than 10 beautiful women. All of them were at the harmonious spirit realm or above. The leader of the group was a deacon disciple who was at the half-step gold core realm. Is this sister going to join my sect? The deacon disciple who was at the half-step gold core realm scanned Yin Suqiu with her spirit sense. Immediately, her pretty face was filled with shock and respect. Senior is a gold core realm cultivator. Yes. Yin Suqiu nodded indifferently. She regained the dignity of the old ancestor of the Great Void Realm. May I know Senior's exact cultivation realm? She is at the peak of the Gold Core Realm and is about to form her nascent soul. She came to the Green Jade Immortal Island to find a sect with excellent spiritual qi to join. Ning Fan helped her. If he did not say so, Yin Suqiu would have honestly said that her sect was unfortunate. She betrayed the sect and went to the endless sea to seek refuge with a friend. In this case, people would look down on her before she joined the sect. A cultivator who was about to form her nascent soul. Although it was a lie, it sounded much better than seeking refuge with a friend. What? This senior is not only a gold core realm expert, but also a gold core realm expert who is about to enter seclusion to form her nascent soul. The deacon disciple was shocked by Ning Fan's words. It was extremely normal for a cultivator who was about to form her nascent soul to find a sect to join. It was to choose a seclusion place to peacefully form her nascent soul. It was also to rely on the sect's financial resources to continue her cultivation after becoming a nascent soul realm expert. The decision for such a cultivator to join the Green Jade Immortal sect was not something that a deacon disciple could decide. Senior, please allow me to call the sect elder. No need. I happen to be passing by this place. Let me see if this sister is qualified to join my Green Jade Immortal sect. Before she finished her sentence, 3 rays of green light flew towards them. All of them were nascent soul realm cultivators. They turned into 3 women. As soon as they landed, their spirit sense locked onto Ning Fan as if they were facing a great enemy. The woman in the middle was wearing a green palace dress. She was the sect master of the Green Jade Immortal Sect, early nascent soul realm Su Yao. The 2 mid-nascent soul realm cultivators beside her were slightly older. They were the guest elders of the sect. These 3 women were not just passing by. Instead, they were attracted by the terrifying bloody smell on Ning Fan's body. A very strong smell of mermaid's blood. This person had slaughtered his way out from the group of mermaids. Such a strong blood qi could only be obtained by entering the group of mermaids alone and slaughtering thousands of them. Even a mid-nascent soul realm cultivator would not dare to do such a reckless act. This person was very strong. He was at least a mid-nascent soul realm cultivator. Even though he was severely injured, he still gave Su Yao a dangerous feeling. This meant that he had a terrifying trump card. Such an expert must be treated with caution. This friend. Su Yao's beautiful eyes swept across Ning Fan with fear. However, before she could finish her sentence, she was interrupted by Suqiu. Su Yao. You're Su Yao. Suqiu's eyes were filled with joy. How dare you call my sect master by her name? The 2 nascent soul realm guest elders were about to scold her but were stopped by Su Yao. If it was any other time, Su Yao would not be happy to be called by her name by a gold core realm cultivator. However, at this moment, she was not angry when Suqiu called her by her name. Instead, she revealed an expression of surprise and disbelief. She quickly walked forward and held Suqiu's hand. Sister Suqiu, it's you. I can't be wrong. I will never forget your smile for the rest of my life. Some people said that the deepest friendship in the world was precisely built when one was young. If that friendship was not submerged by time, it would be more mellow than any utilitarian friendship. That year, you were innocent and I was still young. We fell in love with each other wholeheartedly. Childhood companion, huh? Ning Fan smiled faintly. Su Yao's expression was not fake. It seemed like her relationship with Yin Suqiu was really good. Fellow Taoist Yin, I will let you keep your disciple. If you have any difficulties, feel free to look for me. Ning Fan looked at the 3 nascent soul realm cultivators with deep meaning and shook his cauldron ring. Dozens of female cultivators from Song country were summoned by him. All of a sudden, the 3 of them including Su Yao were shocked. Transforming from a flat ground. This is a heavenly dwelling magical treasure. Even an obscure spirit severing realm spirit sense in the dark revealed a surprised expression. Heavenly dwelling magical treasure. This junior is only at the harmonious spirit realm but he could kill 1,000 mermaids. His combat strength is comparable to a mid-nascent soul realm cultivator and he even has a heavenly dwelling magical treasure. Could he be the descendant of one of the venerated 7 of the internal sea, the Dong Su old monster? This person is severely injured but he still dares to travel in the endless sea. This is similar to the Dong Su old monster who is known for his arrogance. Cough cough cough. If that's the case, the female cultivators that he brought with him should not be underestimated. Even I, an early spirit severing realm cultivator, have to give face to the venerated 7 of the internal sea. In a cave residence with the densest spiritual qi in the Green Jade Immortal Island, a white-haired old woman seemed to have made up her mind and gave an order to a gold core realm cultivator who was serving her. According to the order of the Supreme Elder of my Green Jade Immortal Sect, after Yin Suqiu enters the sect, she will immediately be promoted to the position of an inner sect elder. She will enjoy nascent soul realm worshippers without any mistakes. Yes. Chapter 187. At this moment, Jingzhua had probably arrived at the Penglai Immortal Island. Unlike the heaven-evading boat, the boat was traveling at high speed on the surface of the sea. Although it was slower, it was more stable. Ning Fan stood at the bow of the boat with his long hair fluttering in the sea breeze. This boat will take me all the way to the Penglai Immortal Island. Nothing can stop me from forming my core. Just forming my core, his eyes were filled with pride. Core formation, nascent soul, spirit severing. Step by step, I will reach the peak. 1 month, silence. February, wind and rain. March, an immortal island shrouded in green mist was already in sight. When he approached the island, he lifted his head and looked at the huge island that was floating in the sky. It shocked him. There were 10 sects and 3 islands in the endless outer sea. One of the 3 islands, Penglai, was the size of a country. The island was huge, but what shocked Ning Fan the most was that the body of the island was not made of rocks or trees. It was a huge corpse of a divine turtle. This divine turtle had died countless years ago and turned into a fossil. However, the spiritual chi on the island was so dense that even Great Gene couldn't compare to it. Cultivating here would yield twice the result with half the effort. Even without stepping on the island, Ning Fan could see a towering black tower on the island. The Lost World Tower of the Lost World Palace. I've arrived. I've finally arrived. As soon as the boat stopped, Ning Fan immediately soared into the sky and flew towards the divine Turtle Island. The island was picturesque with beautiful mountains and clear waters. Cranes chirped in the air, and there was no grand formation protecting it. At the entrance of the island, there were many demonic mounts with giant elephants. They flapped their wings and were as huge as small mountains. There were pavilions built on the backs of the elephants for cultivators to sit on. Although the elephants were as heavy as mountains, their speed was comparable to a nascent soul realm cultivator when they ran. As for the Penglai Immortal Island, although there was no formation to protect it, the people of the Lost World Palace had imposed a ban on flying. Cultivators below the nascent soul realm were not allowed to fly. Therefore, ordinary cultivators could only ride the giant elephants to enter the island. After all, the island was too vast. It would take more than 10 years to reach the Lost World Palace on foot without flying or riding demonic mounts. There were quite a number of cultivators who were at the late nascent soul realm and above on the island. If Ning Fan were to disguise himself as a mid-nascent soul realm cultivator, he would be asking for trouble once he is exposed. He dispersed the mental concealment art and restored his half-step gold core aura. Then, he paid 500 immortal jade and rode on the elephant. Ning Fan was sitting on a stone stool in a single-person pavilion. Beside him was a vein-opening female cultivator with above-average looks, serving him respectfully. "Senior, is this your first time in Penglai? If you pay this junior 1 immortal jade, this junior is willing to explain the customs and practices of the Immortal Island to senior." "Oh. Only 1 immortal jade, huh?" Ning Fan smiled and paid the immortal jade while listening to the lady's explanation. The Penglai Immortal Island had 3 major factions. Apart from the Lost World Palace, a branch of the 4 Heavens Immortal World, there were 2 local factions. The Verdant Bamboo Palace was famous for its spirit wine. The Pill Cauldron Gate was a force that specialized in raising human cauldrons. In addition to the Lost World Palace's miraculous ability to reverse time, the Penglai Immortal Island was almost known as the most famous cultivation holy land in the outer endless sea. If he wanted a human cauldron, he could buy one from the Pill Cauldron Gate. If he wanted spirit wine, he could purchase it from the Verdant Bamboo Palace. If you want to cultivate, go to the Lost World Palace. In addition, the Lost World Palace had also recruited a large number of pill refinement masters and sold pills of various grades. As long as you have enough money, it wouldn't be difficult for you to buy a nascent soul realm human cauldron or a 5th revolution pill. To me, this place is a unique holy land for cultivation. I just don't know if I have enough immortal jade, Ning Fan smiled bitterly. Currently, he had almost 8 million immortal jade with him. Even a mid-nascent soul realm cultivator wouldn't be able to afford such an amount. However, This amount of immortal jade was still not enough for him to find the best place to cultivate in the Lost World Palace. The Lost World Palace had the Lost World Pagoda. According to Luoyu, the pagoda that was distributed in the Rain World should be of the silver grade. There were 7 floors in the tower. The first floor's time flow was 1/2 of that of the outside world. The second floor's time flow was 1/4 of that of the outside world. The 7th floor's time flow was 128 times faster. The 7 floors of the Silver Tower corresponded to the 7 realms of cultivation. Vein Opening Realm cultivators were only allowed to enter the first floor. Harmonious Spirit Realm cultivators were allowed to enter the first 2 floors. Gold Core Realm cultivators were allowed to enter the first 3 floors. This restriction was extremely strict. Gold Core Realm cultivators who were forming their nascent soul were absolutely not allowed to enter the 4th floor. Only Nascent Soul Realm cultivators were allowed to enter the 4th floor. Of course, there was one exception. The Lost World Palace was extremely fond of alchemists and gave them special privileges. Even if a 4th Revolution Pill Master was not a Nascent Soul Realm cultivator, he could still enter the 4th floor to cultivate. A 5th Revolution Pill Master could enter the 5th floor even if he was not a Divine Transformation Realm expert. In other words, with Ning Fan's current cultivation base, he could only enter the 2nd level. 1 year of cultivation in the 2nd level was equivalent to 4 years in the outside world. However, if Ning Fan enters with the identity of a Pill Refinement Master, he would be able to enter the 5th floor. 1 year of cultivation would be equivalent to 32 years of cultivation in the outside world. Cultivating for 100 years on the 5th floor is equivalent to 3,200 years in the outside world. Reaching the peak Divine Transformation Realm isn't difficult at all. It's even possible to reach the Void Fragmentation Realm. However, in the entire Endless Sea, no one could stay in the 5th layer to cultivate for such a long time. The reason was, the price was too high. The cost of the Lost World Tower seemed to have slowed down the flow of time as it increased exponentially with each level. One only needed to pay 100 immortal jades to cultivate in the 1st floor for a year. The 2nd level costs 1,000 a year, and the 3rd level costs 10,000 a year. Level 4, 120,000 a year. However, one would need to pay 960,000 immortal jades to cultivate in the 5th floor for a year. Gold Core Realm cultivators could enter the first 3 floors, but it would be useless to cultivate in the 1st floor. Nascent Soul Realm cultivators could enter the first 4 floors, but it would be useless to cultivate in the first 2 floors. Spirit Severing Realm cultivators would be useless to cultivate in the first 3 floors, and so on. It seemed like the progenitor of the Lost World Palace wanted to prevent high-level cultivators from entering the lower-level areas. After the Vein Opening Realm female cultivator finished her introduction, she retreated respectfully while Ning Fan remained silent. He was in dire need of time. Naturally, it would be better for him to cultivate in the higher floors. However, 8 million immortal jade seemed to be a huge amount, but it was only enough for him to cultivate in the 5th floor for 8 years. 8 years, multiplied by 32 times of the time in the 5th floor, would be 256 years. In the past, Ning Fan sacrificed his lifespan to condense the Sense Soul Incarnation. 256 years was exactly the remaining lifespan he had now. If he could break through to the Gold Core Realm, his lifespan would increase by 500 years. If he failed, he would die of old age in the Lost World Tower. That's right. 8 years of cultivation in the 5th floor of the Lost World Palace was a normal amount of lifespan. This was the greatest flaw of the Lost World Pagoda. It did not truly change time, but merely changed the speed at which time flowed. A Golden Core Realm cultivator who was unable to form his nascent soul would eventually reach the end of his lifespan even if he came to the Lost World Palace. He would not be able to form his nascent soul. A Nascent Soul Realm cultivator who was unable to attain the Divine Transformation Realm would eventually run out of lifespan even if he came to the Lost World Palace. He would never be able to attain the Divine Transformation Realm. The Lost World Palace could change time, but it could not change the destination of a cultivator. Jing Zhuo will need 100 years to form his nascent soul. He will probably stay in the 3rd level for about 10 years. As for me, I will cultivate in the 5th level for 8 years. 8 years in the outside world will be equivalent to 256 years in the tower. The first thing I need to do is to obtain the recognition of the Lost World Palace. Admit that I am a 5th Revolution Pill Master. Only then can I enter the 5th floor. The 2nd level is cheap, but to me, it's too slow. 10 days later, Ning Fan rode on his elephant mount and changed to another elephant mount at his first stop, Xiu City. 15 days later, they arrived at their second stop, Xiu City, and switched again. After another month, Ning Fan finally arrived at the destination of his journey, Black Tortoise City. It had been almost 2 years since he left Peace City. When he was 20 years old, he reached the Endless Sea. Here, once one entered the path of cultivation, one would forget about age. He was going to amaze the world with a single brilliant feat. Black Tortoise City was the territory of the Lost World Palace. The 10,000 zhang tall black tower in the middle of the city was the Lost World Tower. There were small towers in the north, south, east and west of the city. They were called pill towers. If any cultivator wanted to register their pill concoction technique in the Lost World Palace, they would have to take the test here. I need a pill master's badge. Ning Fan stepped into the pill tower in the south of the city. Immediately, a delicate mid-harmonious spirit female cultivator came to greet him. Master, how do I address you? Are you here to register your pill concoction technique? Yes. My surname is Zhou and my name is Ming. Hee. So it's Master Zhou. May I know what revolution pill Master Zhou is? If you are a 2nd revolution pill master, we can test you. If you are a 3rd revolution pill master or above, we will need Elder Mo to test you personally. The harmonious spirit female cultivator sized Ning Fan up with her beautiful eyes. Her cultivation base wasn't high, but her eyesight was sharp. She could tell that Ning Fan was a half-step core formation cultivator. Most likely, he was going to enter the tower to form his core. There were such cultivators every year. They could be 2nd revolution pill masters or 3rd revolution pill masters. 2nd revolution pill masters could enjoy a 10% discount when entering the tower to cultivate. 3rd revolution pill masters could enjoy a 20% discount when entering the tower to cultivate. Such a discount would make many pill masters willing to register their pill concoction technique in the Lost World Palace. There were no restrictions on registering their pill concoction technique in the Lost World Palace. They would be able to receive pill concoction tasks from the Lost World Palace and receive rewards. The rewards could be exchanged for immortal jade. 100 immortal jade was equivalent to 110 immortal jade. All these benefits were for the sake of winning over pill masters. The female's bright eyes kept sizing up Ning Fan. She had some guesses in her heart. This person is too young. He should be a 2nd revolution pill master. Appearance can be faked, but bone age is hard to fake. This harmonious spirit female cultivator looked like she was in her 20s, but she was actually a 100-years-old woman. As for Ning Fan, he looked calm, but he was just a youth with a bone age of 20. Yes, he must be a 2nd revolution pill master. Help me invite Elder Mo. I'm afraid you can't make the decision about my pill concoction technique. Ning Fan smiled faintly. What? Could it be that Master Zhou is a 3rd revolution pill master? Sorry for asking such a silly question. Since I invited Elder Mo, he must be a 3rd revolution pill master. The female's bright eyes flashed with brilliance. A 20-year-old 3rd revolution pill master. In her career as a receptionist, only the disciples of some major powers could achieve this. This 20-year-old young man in front of her must not be offended. Moreover, the female's bright eyes flashed as she gave Ning Fan a flirtatious look. My name is Yalan. If Master Zhou doesn't have a companion, I'm willing to recommend myself. I already have a companion. Is that so? That's really a pity. The female didn't feel embarrassed at all. This was the reality of the cultivation world. If the other party was a third revolution pill master, she would be willing to put down her pride and recommend herself to sleep with him. If she could become his companion, her cultivation path would be smooth. Chapter 188. Ning Fan was led to a room on the second floor of the pill tower and waited quietly. When he passed by other rooms, there were also many gold core and nascent soul realm old monsters staying there. It seemed like they were all registered third revolution pill refinement masters. The eyes of these people fell upon Ning Fan. Each of them was filled with arrogance or disdain. However, Ning Fan did not mind it at all. After some time, Yalan led a green-robed old man to Ning Fan. The old man's face was flushed and he wore luxurious green clothes. People called him Elder Mo and he was at the late stage of the Golden Core realm. His eyes were slightly narrowed and he seemed rather impatient. Sensing that Ning Fan was just a half-step Gold Core realm cultivator, the old man's eyelids wrinkled. Yalan. This old man is at the critical moment of my Dan enlightenment and I have no time to waste. If this harmonious spirit junior is not a third revolution Dan master, this old man will definitely punish you severely. Yes. Yalan let out a faint sigh. She didn't expect that when she went to look for Elder Mo, Elder Mo's seclusion was fruitless and in a bad mood. Sigh, what bad luck. The old man's spirit sense swept across Ning Fan's body and felt a slight pain. He withdrew his spirit sense and opened his eyes. At this moment, the stench of the mermaid's blood had already dispersed. His smile was amiable and no one could tell that he was a ferocious devil lord anymore. Alchemists used their divine sense to control fire. Although the strength of their divine sense was not necessarily related to their alchemy skills, alchemists with strong divine sense often had extraordinary alchemy skills. Although this person's bone age was short and his cultivation level was low, there was a possibility that he was a third revolution pill master. This young friend is quite extraordinary. Fine, follow this old man to the Dan room to test your skill in alchemy. Elder Mo squeezed out a rare smile, which made Yalan slightly relieved. It seemed like Elder Mo had discovered something strange about Zhou Ming and placed great importance on him. However, Ning Fan just smiled and did not move his feet. If I may be so bold to ask, fellow Daoist Mo, what's the highest level of pill refinement that you can determine? I am a high-grade third revolution pill refinement master, so I can take the high-grade third revolution test. However, even if fellow Daoist has reached the peak grade third revolution in pill refinement, I can still assess your pill refinement. Is that so? That seems to be a pity. I've made Dao friend Mo come all the way here for nothing. Moreover, it is above the peak of rank 3. It seems that I will have to trouble the other people in your tower to help me test it. As soon as Ning Fan said those words, both Yalan and old Mo were stunned. He was stunned. It wasn't that he was shocked, but he didn't believe it. Old Mo put away his dry smile and his eyes darkened. Fellow Daoist Zhou, are you joking with me? Every year. There were even alchemists who falsely reported their alchemy skills in an attempt to enter a higher level to cultivate. Fourth revolution pill refinement mastery could only be tested by old Mo. As for fourth revolution pill refinement mastery and above, only the tower master of the southern tower could decide. If the result of the test is that Ning Fan isn't a fourth revolution tower lord, he would have to be punished for making the tower lord of the southern tower come here for nothing. One had to know that the tower master of the southern pagoda. Her identity was not ordinary at all. Not even the tower masters of the other 3 pill pagodas and the spirit-severing realm guardian of the Lost World Tower's silver pagoda could afford to offend her. Seeing old Mo's anger, Ning Fan felt helpless. If he could, he wouldn't be so ostentatious in promoting alchemy. In the endless sea of the cultivator tomb, this was the same as seeking death. But there was no way he could hide it. With a determined look, he slapped his bag of holding and took out a jade box. It was a jade-like crystalline pill. Fellow Daoist Emo, you've misunderstood. I'm not joking. If you don't believe me, you can take a look at this pill. When old Emo saw the pill, Yalan was not as shocked as before. But old Mo's face immediately lit up. This is, the fourth revolution pill, nascent formation pill. Nascent formation pill. Old Emo could not concoct it, but he had seen some of it before. He had even bought one from the Lost World Palace for the sake of forming his nascent soul in the future. However, the quality of the pill in front of him was the highest he had ever seen in his life. There was actually a trace of divine intent in this nascent formation pill. Not only that, this pill was naturally formed without any flaws. Even a peak fourth revolution pill master would have some flaws when he concocts the nascent formation pill. Lastly, when the pill is being refined, the pill refiner can leave a trace of his qi in the pill for others to identify that qi belonged to Ning Fan himself. He had concocted this pill when he was on the boat. Master Zhou. This pill is really concocted by you? Old Emo, who was usually arrogant, was at a loss for words. That's right. Does this pill satisfy old Emo? Is it possible to invite a higher grade pill refiner to help me improve my pill concoction technique? Yes. Of course it's possible. However, my southern pill tower is slightly different from the other three towers. The tower master is a woman and she is not a pill refiner. However, if I were to help you evaluate your pill concoction technique, even if you are a fifth revolution pill master. Old Emo made a gesture of 5 and immediately kept quiet. There were more than 10 fifth revolution pill refiners registered in the Lost World Palace. However, there were only 3 who wished to become a nominal guest of the Lost World Palace. Moreover, none of them stayed in the external endless sea. If I can find a fifth revolution pill refiner to register for the Lost World Palace, it will be a great contribution. If this pill refiner is willing to become a guest elder of the Lost World Palace, it will be a great contribution. Master Zhou. Mo Yun will bring you to the Tower Master now. However, Master Zhou, please remember that the Tower Master has a bad temper. Please forgive me if I offend you. Thank you, fellow Daoist Mo. Please bring me to the Tower Master. However, the Pill Tower of the Lost World Palace is really interesting. Fellow Daoist Mo has a bad temper and so does the Tower Master. Is it such an unpleasant thing to be a member of the Pill Tower? Ning Fan said with a smile. It's a joke. It's true that I don't have a good temper, but I can still see the changes in people's expressions. However, the Tower Master has a really bad temper. Even a spirit-severing realm old monster dares to bully her. She can't be provoked, is that so? Ning Fan's eyes turned slightly solemn. This so-called Tower Master of the Southern Pill Tower seems to have a very special status. Bullying and humiliating spirit-severing realm cultivators. According to Ning Fan's knowledge, the Tower Masters of the 4 towers are only peak nascent soul realm cultivators. Only the Lost World Tower in the center has a spirit-severing realm cultivator. The nascent soul realm Tower Master of the Southern Pill Tower dares to bully a spirit-severing realm cultivator. Could it be that this person has a special background? Unknowingly, the annoying little demoness from the Godly Void Pavilion in 7 Apricot City appeared in Ning Fan's mind. When they passed by the rooms again, the Third Revolution Pill Masters in the rooms saw Elder Mo being so respectful to a mere harmonious spirit realm cultivator like Ning Fan and even brought him to the 3rd floor of the Pill Pagoda. All of them were secretly shocked. There was no longer a hint of arrogance on their faces. That harmonious spirit realm junior. No, harmonious spirit realm fellow Taoist, could it be? 4th Revolution, Shu. This isn't something we can discuss. If it's fourth revolution. In this Xianwu city, his status is comparable to a late nascent soul realm cultivator. We all have experienced the transcendent status of a pill master. However, the Tower Master of the Southern Tower seems to be a little tyrannical, sure. This isn't something we can discuss. I heard that the Tower Master of the Southern Tower is someone from above. Ning Fan remained calm and followed Mo Yun to the third floor of the Pill Tower. The furnishings and decorations of the third floor were like a palace. However, it felt like a lady's boudoir. Ning Fan guessed that the so-called Tower Master of the Southern Tower was a lady. However, just as they walked out of the inner palace, a faint smell of blood could be detected. Two Gold Core Realm female cultivators who were dressed as maids carried a wooden rack out of the inner palace with pale faces. There was something on the wooden rack that was covered with a white cloth. The white cloth was already stained with blood. Ning Fan scanned it with his spirit sense. Under the white cloth was the corpse of a male cultivator that was cut into pieces. Judging from the density of the spiritual qi in his blood, he was at least a mid-nascent soul realm cultivator. This is... Ning Fan's eyes turned cold. Cough cough. As I said, the Tower Master has a bad temper. She hates male cultivators the most. This male cultivator is most probably a fourth revolution pill master. However, his words and actions were disrespectful to the Tower Master. So, Ning Fan remained silent. A fourth revolution pill master was someone who would be treated with respect in a mid-rank cultivation country. They would also be valued in the Lost World Palace. However, he was cut into pieces by someone. There was no doubt that the Lost World Palace would give preferential treatment to pill masters. However, the Tower Master of the Southern Tower dared to disregard the rules of the Lost World Palace. This person's status was extraordinary. What made Ning Fan cautious was that this female Tower Master's temper was not just bad. She would kill someone and cut them into pieces to vent her anger, a transcendent and terrifying identity. A late nascent soul realm cultivator who dared to casually kill a fourth revolution pill refinement master. Even Ning Fan felt a trace of fear towards this female Tower Master whom he had never met before. If he knew this earlier, he would have gone to the other three towers to take the test. If he provoked this woman, even with his trump card and plucking finger, his chances of winning against this woman were slim. If he was killed by this unruly woman and dismembered his body, it would be too unjust for him. If he was not careful and killed this woman, Ning Fan might be hunted down by a true immortal. In the inner palace, a few Gold Core Realm maids were carefully serving a red-robed girl. Small word silk robe, blood red. Eagle feather whip, blood red. This girl was about 13 or 14 years old. Her hair was tied up in a bun with a blood-red jade hairpin. Her nails were dyed blood red. All her fine black hair was tied up behind her back. Her delicate face was as cold as frost. A trace of blood red flashed across her eyes. A mere fourth revolution pill master dared to test me with a bewitching technique. Humph! How hateful! All male cultivators in the world are indeed heartless. Oh right, what did Mo Yun want to see me about? Miss, it seems that Mo Yun has found a fourth revolution pill master, is that so? If this person dares to look at me for more than 3 breaths of time, I will kill him. If he dares to retaliate, I will find out his clan and exterminate his entire clan. The girl's voice was as cold as ice. What if this person is well behaved? The maid asked carefully. If that's the case, then this person is a good man. Cut off his thing and keep him by my side as a maid. If this person is a fifth revolution pill master. If he is a fifth revolution pill master, even I can't bully him as I please. How troublesome. The girl said in a distressed tone. Without any warning, a certain part of Ning Fan's body felt cold. Will it be cut off? The little demoness is gone. The little demoness is here, You're tuning into the Han Lee's Wuxia Chronicles YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.